Last series that you binge watched.
What the hell did we just go through? I did a hammered through Game of Thrones again.
Did you? You watched it again?
For no reason. Just bored one day and just started watching it. Graphics wise, acting wise, a show is always great when you hate the actors.
Yeah.
When they're doing that, like Skylar White from Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Like, you know, it's great acting. If I can like stay awake at night thinking about how much I hate
that person. Like if you saw them in real life, they're not who they are.
But I hate them.
Exactly.
If I ever saw Skylar White or Joffrey in real life, I'd commit a crime.
Joffrey. Fucking Joffrey. I think that I liked it the most. That I realized that I like stuff like that when it's not somebody famous that you already seen in something else.
Yeah.
Like if they do a good job and it's like I've never seen that guy before. So like now, like for instance, Pedro Pascal is in so much different things, but I knew him from Game of Thrones.
He's still the guy from Narcos to me.
Exactly. So it jacks it all up for me. Like when they're famous.
That's right. He's the Red Viper.
He is the Viper. Yeah. So we're watching. Blacklist right now is what we're watching. I never saw it. She started it way back when. I guess it's still going.
Yeah.
Which is crazy. And I really, really like it. But like their guests sometimes or their villains or whatever are like famous people you know. So it kind of like you're all into it and then it's like, oh, I know that guy.
We did that with Criminal Minds. Did you watch that one?
I've watched episodes. I haven't like stayed with it.
The serial killer ends up being Kevin from The Office. I was like, I can't take this serious.
Exactly.
I spilled chili all over.
Yeah, fuck. It messes it all up for me. Like they have to think about that. Like the psychology of it. Don't put somebody famous in to do that. It fucks it up. Find new talent. I'll do it. I'll be a bad guy. So you said Game of Thrones. So you guys went through. Like start to finish, or did you just jump around?
Start to finish, just crank through it.
I feel like there's a lot of shit that I probably like if I watched it again,
you forgot about,
that I would miss or forget. What's your favorite episode of Game of Thrones, like, or just moment, like one being that it's fresh on your mind? What is something that you saw and it was just like...
Dude, when that ice dragon comes to life...
That's badass. That was badass.
It's like, it's such a rise and fall and then another fall. You're like, oh no, the dragon died. Oh no, it's a bad dragon now.
And it's like, well, it was like blue fire, ice, electricity, some shit. It was like, whoa. I feel like the red wedding is burned in my brain.
There's so many good ones.
Like I wish I could watch the red wedding for the first time because I remember we were sitting in the living room, Robin and I, my wife, and like it happened, like we're just sitting there, we're watching, and it was like no, oh my god, and we're like standing up.
There's so much blood.
Yeah, it was insane, bro. I'm like, how could they do? I'm done watching this shit. There's no reason to watch anymore. It was nuts.
I refused to watch that show when it first came out, and I was in college. I think it was my senior year of college. Like season 3 was starting, or 2.
Okay.
And my room was like, just watch. He's like, I bought the DVD set. Watch Game of Thrones with me.
That's so early.
Good. And I was like, dude, I'm not like into any of that Lord of the Rings, Harry Potter shit.
Yeah,
He's like, you watch one episode with me. If you don't like it, we won't watch anything else. 10 hours later, we stood up on the couch, and Ned Stark gets decapitated.
Locked in.
Oh, I guess the show's over. How are they going to continue? Yeah. They killed Ned Stark
immediately. Immediately, like it was so crazy. The whole thing was crazy, and I loved it. I wonder they're probably going to be able to hear my dogs. If you can hear my dog barking, sorry. We didn't plan for that. Need a muzzle.
He was an accident.
Right. Yeah. Game of Thrones was legit.
Are you saying that's your favorite show of all time?
Ooh.
What's your favorite
TV show?
Yeah. There's no movie shows.
Yeah, I know, but I mean like movies or TV.
Yeah, favorite movie and favorite TV show, 2 completely different things.
Yeah, well, see, actually, that's one of your other icebreakers. We didn't even get to that, but we will.
And this is how it flows.
So
this is the first time we've ever talked face to face, by the way.
I know. So right. So what you guys don't know is Trav was my my foreman when I worked at the gas company. So and it goes further back than that. But Travis and I literally every day for years sat in a truck together, just him and I in a truck. Every day. Trav drives. If I'm not sleeping, we're talking. But I usually slept all the time. And we would just sit in a truck. I mean, this could be 8 hours a day. It could be all night. It could be into the morning on call outs.
It was the hours we spent together were insane.
It was insane. We were together. We were with each other more than we were with our family. 100%.
No doubt.
And it was amazing. It was. We were best friends right off the bat, and it actually started with a mutual hatred for your dad. So before I worked at the gas company, I worked at a subcontractor, and that's usually how it works. You subcontract for the gas company, you do their scab work, their bitch work, whatever else, and then you eventually earn your way into the majors and work with, the actual gas company. Before I worked at the gas company, I worked at a subcontractor with Travis's dad for a handful of years, probably about 4 years or whatever. Or maybe a little bit less than that, probably about 3 years.
For a minute.
Yeah, and then I didn't work under him. I was actually a foreman. He was a foreman. It was a whole thing. He was an absolutely amazing man. He's actually at the gas company as well now. But yeah, he had that dad syndrome. So like, Trav dealt with it. I dealt with it.
Anyone that was younger than him sucked and didn't know what they were doing.
Yeah, very old school mentality, but absolutely a workhorse and work ethic that really doesn't exist anymore with people.
I guarantee if I called him right now, he's out of breath because he's splitting wood right now.
He's doing something.
For no reason. Yeah. He doesn't have a wood burn.
I believe it. Let's have a drink. On that note, you pick literally...
It's your house, you pick.
Whatever you want.
No, you pick it, dude.
No, because I don't know what you had. If we can find something really good that you haven't had, I'd like to do that. And there's literally bottles everywhere. There's Toasted Barrel, Elijah Craig. If there's anything you haven't seen or haven't tried...
So I haven't tried the Toasted, but I don't want to take all your Toasted.
Toasted really isn't... I like Single Barrel more than Toasted, to be honest. I got a Weller 107.
I got one of those. I haven't cracked it yet.
Eagle, Blanton's. You've had E.H. Taylor small batch, right? I have to try and get a Single Barrel. I haven't.
Those are tough ones.
Bottled and Bond, Heaven Hill. I got Trace. I have a Single Barrel Trace, too.
You got a single. I have one, too. I haven't opened it yet.
So my buddy Ben got me a... Shout out to Ben Snowden for my wedding. He gave me a Single Barrel.
I got a Single Barrel Angels for my wedding.
Oh, really? Have you had it?
I haven't cracked it.
That's the
my problem, dude.
I was literally going to say that.
All these things, if I drink it, it's gone and I'll never have it again.
Or you just want to wait for somebody to enjoy it with. It's like, here's the thing. Hold on, let's get a fucking drink first. All right. So I got, have you ever had Johnny Drum?
No.
Johnny Drum is good. This is supposedly, so I want to open a new one with you though. You want to try this? Redwood Empire?
Sure.
So this is the Lost Monarch.
Red Wedding Empire, fine.
Yeah, there we go. So this is supposedly
that a California one.
So yes, there's 3. I think they had 3. They might have more now. Do you have your knife?
Yeah. Tell you're not a working man.
I'm not on the pipeline no more, buddy.
Good laborer always has a knife and a roll of tape.
But so this one is, I think they have 3. They have Empire, Redwood Empire. Then there's the Lost Monarch, which is this one. I can't remember all 3. I'm gonna sound like a fucking asshole to these people on YouTube. But there's 3 of them, and I believe that this one is a blend of the other 2 to make this one. Is what I think.
I wonder if we were close to them when we were out there. If you ever can go to see the Redwoods, dude.
I need that knife again.
You think you've seen a big tree? You have no clue.
It's that crazy?
Dude, Ashley, I thought we were going to get a divorce on our honeymoon because I kept walking off the trail and just going up to these redwoods and touching it. Like, it's 3,000 years old. Every single one we saw, I was like, I can't believe how big it is. A 2-hour hike turned into like a 5-hour endeavor because I just couldn't stop touching these trees.
So your travel game, I want to get into that because the trips that you take are pretty awesome, and it's not like what most people your age probably do, like Vegas.
And not for me.
Ocean City, Jersey. Crowds. Right. So Travis travels to the woods or canyons or mountains. My nephew Son, I think you've met him before.
Yeah, he was here.
So he lives up in by Seven Springs. Salud.
That's smooth.
It's not bad at all.
It's got
actually.
like a nutty taste to it.
That's really good.
Yeah, it is.
And this is, so you can't get it here. I actually got this in Delaware. $35, $40.
Do you know what the shame of that is? You'll never see it again, and you love it now.
Yeah. I have to go out of state to find it.
Yeah.
And it's everywhere. It's on every shelf there. Pennsylvania sucks.
Yeah.
Just so you know, anybody that does whiskey knows this, but for most of you, Pennsylvania absolutely sucks when it comes to whiskey and bourbon. It's just an absolute shit show.
The lotteries are just a scam.
So let me get through these last two questions, and then we'll just, because this isn't going to be hard at all for us to fucking talk.
No.
Zombie apocalypse happens.
Oh shit.
You're only allowed one weapon to get started. What is it?
Oh, dude. All right. What kind of zombies are they? Are they the fast zombies or are they the Walking Dead zombies?
It's a mixture of fast zombies and Walking Dead zombies.
So we've got hybrids coming.
Yeah. It could be.
So this is Raccoon City.
But they're not like they haven't like evolved into like the super.
So they're as fast as they were when they were alive.
Yeah. Just regular people fast, not like Captain America fast. I do like this whiskey. You know, the aftertaste is even better.
Dude, that's a tough one. How is it only headshots?
It's the only way I know how to kill a zombie.
That's the only way I've been told.
Now, I mean, you're obviously going to build your empire.
Obviously, but I feel like if you could be the baddest bitch of all, Michonne from Walking Dead. I don't know how to wield a sword, though, either. But that's... You never run out of ammo, and you can, as long as you can smooth your arms.
Are you telling me?
No, I'm not saying that's what I would pick. I'm saying if I knew how to use it, would be the best.
Right. But that's not the question.
I know.
It happens right now. We're sitting here doing this, and all of a sudden there's like shit banging on the door.
I'm at the right house.
Right. So we go in the closet and just pretend that I have everything in the safe that you need. What were you grabbing? I might have it. I don't know.
Dude, I'm doing a light 5.56.
Okay.
14-inch barrel or under.
Okay,
I've had Israeli weapons. That's like a legal pistol. It's a 13.5-inch barrel.
Yeah.
With a 30-round mag.
It's 5.56.
Yeah. That's gonna be my go-to that I own.
Okay.
It's fast. It's light.
You can carry a lot of ammo.
Carry a shitload of ammo. It's accurate as hell. Got the red dot on it. That's my gun.
Okay.
What are you taking?
I'm gonna have to take my Daniels, dude. I'm gonna take my Daniel Defense.
The 300.
Yeah, the DDM4 PDW. So mine is a 7-inch barrel, but I have the suppressor on it. Ammo isn't that much heavier than 5.56. It's a little modified. It's like a happy medium between. And if these guys are into sound, like if the sound now I'm suppressed, the Daniel. Yeah. So I have the Daniel Defense DDM4 PDW with a proprietary Daniel Defense Wave suppressor on it. If I shot it in here, all you would hear after the first like 2 rounds, so that's to fill up with gas and shit, is the fucking spring in the action. Like it is, you hear the bolt cycling.
That's it.
God, it is incredible. And I've shot a handful of other 300s that were suppressed with different suppressors, different platforms. I don't know one that's better than Daniel Defense. And I'm biased, obviously. But like shooting them side by side, I think it's the best one ever. It's so cool. I could shoot it in the house and nobody would wake up. Nobody would even know.
Do you remember the conversation we had, like how you would, what you'd do in the city if it was overrun?
Oh yeah. Horrible. Yeah, we're not going to talk about that. We're not going to talk about that yet. Maybe that'll, yeah. Dude, the conversations in the truck. There was no filter. And it was very impulsive. It was very organic. Like, it was just like, whatever you thought, you said it out loud.
Would you stab that guy for $1 million? Absolutely.
Yeah, twice. In the face.
You'd have to give me another $1 million to quit stabbing.
Not what knife, or it would go that way. It would go like, what kind of knife? What house, you know.
There's always more detail you could ask.
Yeah. Those were good times, man. So you're picking 5.56. I think that's a rock solid answer.
It's the most common round. You're going to find it everywhere. Yeah. You're looting stores. There it is. Mm-hmm.
That was something that would probably worry me with 300.
Yeah.
I mean, I have like probably 4,000 rounds of it now.
Or do you do a 22? Extremely light. Iron sights are accurate.
You can get boxes.
You can carry 2,000 rounds
easily. But you got to be accurate.
I do a Henry Lever action. 22.
Dude, I want a Henry. I want a lever action really, really bad. Like a Henry. Do you have one?
My grandfather.
Like gold plated, all that?
It's the Henry Big Boy Golden Boy Field and Stream edition. My grandfather gave it to me before he died.
Oh shit.
It's got the gold plates, 45.
Have you shot it?
Never will it be shot.
No. Has it ever been shot? Never. Not even by him.
Nope. Still has the tags on it, still in the box. Yeah, it's got got a nice 10-point buck.
No shit etched into it
on the stalk. Yeah,
I want one so bad.
It's handsome.
Some of those like they're kind of making their way back. If you like see them on TikTok and YouTube and shit, like tactical lever actions that they're bringing out now. Like
dude, Henry's doing a semi-automatic now. It's kind of ruining their whole stick.
Yeah, I don't know if that's a good idea.
I hate it.
You can't do that.
I'd take a mare's leg. Like if you were to offer me any Henry gun, the mare's leg, the 45 with the chopped down butt, and the. Would
you take that over? For the zombie apocalypse?
No, just in general. Like, hey, what Henry do you want? That's the one.
That's the one you want, yeah. The mare's leg. I think I do. I don't know enough about it, but I have heard.
It's the true grit gun.
What? Okay. One location you have to see. And I know you travel a lot.
We're going there this July. We're heading to Pamplona, running with the bulls.
Oh, really? I know you've been talking. So you had planned to do that originally.
We were booked.
Right?
We were booked in 2020. You're still working with
it.
We
COVID blew it all up.
Yep, that's canceled everything. And of course, everything doubled in price in the last 4 years. So, but it's all booked again. And it's an election year, so it'll probably get canceled again.
Yeah. That's my third question. Does your family know that you voted for Joe Biden? It's like, no.
My father would disown me. I will say that's like the coolest thing about my parents. They've never once discussed politics, and like which way they lean.
Yeah.
But they have never like once contacted like me or my sister. Like, if you don't vote Republican, you're a piece of shit.
Right.
It's so that's nice.
Like a don't ask, don't tell thing.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah.
Unless you're gay, then you have to tell them. You have to tell them then.
All right. Last question. Kind of a two-parter. Best movie that you've seen recently and of all time for you?
The greatest movie I've ever seen is Interstellar with Matthew McConaughey, because it blew my mind out of the back of my skull.
Really? Interstellar?
Did you ever see it?
Yes, I have. Recently.
Just for like mind blown.
Yeah, it's pretty crazy.
But then, like, greatest movie of all time, like, I'll watch it every time it's on. Toy Story.
Really?
Love that movie.
Toy Story is just the first one? I feel like Toy Story consistently, as far as so there's four. The fourth one kind of fucks.
That was a money grab, and Pixar and Tom Hanks should feel ashamed.
Right, but the first three
bangers.
I love
after another.
I love them all. I'll watch them in a row.
Secondhand Lions? Because we had that conversation before. Secondhand
Lions is an absolute amazing
It's a great movie.
The uncles in that movie are what you want.
It's perfect.
It's a great movie. It's a classic.
I love that movie. What's your number one for both?
So, recently...
There's no good movies made anymore.
I was going to say...
There's been a good movie made
I've seen a lot of movies, but none of them stick. Like... What would I pick as a great movie that I've seen?
These are your questions.
I would have to say. Well, I prepare myself to ask you. I don't prepare to get them reciprocated. I would have to say, probably like The Old Guard with Charlize Theron.
I don't think I've ever seen that.
So it's like
that's your best movie of all time.
No. Just recently, like that's how far back it's. And this movie's probably maybe 6 years old, maybe 5 years old, maybe a little bit less than that. I might be exaggerating. But there's like these group of people. Charlize Theron is like the head one, and they're immortal.
Okay.
Like they're completely immortal. They can get shot in the head. They die for like 5 seconds, and then they come back to life. And they've been alive for thousands of years.
Sounds like a nightmare.
But these people will like they're in. How is that doing that? These people will, like if you go back in history, like there's people that have been tracking them. Okay. And like if you go back in history, like every big event, like they're doing good. Like they took down Hitler, or they this, or they that. So like there's this whole thing. It's pretty good. And then there's this new girl that gets brought into the immortal world. Yeah. And they're like trying to bring her up. It's a good movie. It's on Netflix. It's called The Old Guard. You should check it out. It's pretty cool.
It sounds interesting.
But it's not like the greatest movie ever. It's just off the top of my head. I don't think there's been any like, wow, that was an amazing movie. I watched that multiple times. Like if I find myself watching movies that I've seen, actually check. I take that back. I take it back. Strike that from the record. Reverse. 13 Hours is the best movie that I've seen recently. So 13 Hours is the movie about the attack on the embassy in Benghazi. Okay. That happened September 11th, 2012. The anniversary of 9/11. I think it was 2012.
I can't fact check on it because I don't know.
Yeah, I think that's
what it happened. I don't know the date.
So that movie is absolutely awesome. That's a fucking badass movie.
Way better than 27 Hours, where you're just watching.
I don't even know.
Cut his arm off because he's stuck in between a rock and a hard place.
I've never seen that.
It's terrible.
Is that a real movie?
It's terrible.
You know what that reminds me of? Yeah, it was 2012.
Franco. James Franco is just a hiker. The whole thing is just him stuck in a rock.
I don't like either Franco brother, I don't think.
They really lost their luster.
21 Jump Street, I like the little brother in that. Yeah. That's about it.
Baby Franco.
Yeah, yeah. It was 2012. I was right. Okay. Movie of all time. That's a good one. Immediately, my heart goes to Hook.
Dude, great movie.
I have to go. Like, Hook is like my childhood movie.
Do you remember how upset we were when we started calling Bogart Rufio, but he'd never seen Hook?
Yeah, fuck Bogart for that.
Dude's never seen a movie.
That's the thing with like Robin. Like my wife didn't have her childhood didn't revolve around like movies raised me and my siblings. Yeah. Like every kids movies raised me. So it's weird. Like when you say a quote, and that's what I love about when we ride in the truck, because I could say a quote from literally any childhood movie or any movie, and you would be able to keep going with it. If you have somebody and it's
so much faster if you can just talk in nothing but
movie quotes. I feel like we did that too. Like let's have a day where we just try and do that, or even song lyrics or whatever it is. It just works. Yeah, but that I would have to say Hook.
Hook's a great call.
There's so many other ones. So like my friend Joey Booker, he's one of my good buddies. He's an agent. He asked this question on his, so I'm gonna just segue into it. Best trilogy.
Dude, I just watched The Hobbit for the first time.
Really?
That's it.
The Hobbit, not Lord of the Rings, but The Hobbit, the newer ones.
Yeah.
So I haven't watched any of those. I think my dad was telling me.
Lord of the Rings.
I do, but I was worried that it would. I get weird about shit that comes out later like that. Like they're gonna. It's legit.
We could cancel this right now. I'll go watch The Hobbits with you. I got dinner reservations for 5:30. Done.
It's that good?
Yes. Dude, they're so good. They're way better. They're better than Lord of the Rings. And I know that's gonna hurt
you. That's ballsy, dude.
I know it's gonna hurt you.
And this is The Hobbit is the prequels.
Yeah, that's Bilbo meeting up with all the dwarves,
the originals,
and they're going out to get. It's great. It's great. They got to get the heart of the mountain away from the dragon.
I might throw it on tonight, dude.
Do it.
I might throw it on tonight.
You're not going to go to bed.
Well, I got football. Football's on at 4:30. But I got two TVs in the living room. I'll put one on the bottom and let that one play.
Football on mute.
Okay, that's a good one.
It's so good.
So, Joey's was Back to the Future.
Get out of here.
That's what I said. But he's like, dude, there's so many things in it, and I'll be honest, I didn't really pay attention.
It's because there's Easter eggs.
Yeah,
right. There's Easter eggs in every Pixar movie too. It's not like.
Yeah, I don't know. I like
a good Easter egg, but it's not. That's also what isn't going to make the best trilogy. Teach their own.
Cars is a good one.
Cars is good.
All the cars are really good. Toy Story is really good. I wish they made a sequel to A Bug's Life.
Dude, Bug's Life.
I find myself going back to A Bug's Life often.
We watched that a couple weeks ago, actually.
Have you been to Disney recently, as an adult?
No.
I did.
I'm not on my Chris Carr game.
Does Chris Carr go to Disney a lot?
Oh, dude, they love Disney.
Really?
Yeah. They're there like a couple times a year.
Really?
They love Disney.
I love Disney.
But like, I don't like. He's not like a ride rider. I don't think. I just like the atmosphere.
It's the atmosphere, dude. It is so nice. Like as an adult, so the first time I went was, I think it was 3 years ago now. We took the kids, and I might have had more fun than my kids. Like, because this is my childhood. Like my kids too. Like my three know Disney in and out. Like we have Disney trivia nights and whatever else. But like going there and seeing it and everything is like how you imagined it as a kid. Like it really is the greatest place.
My mom just told me the Disney store, like Disney World, was the Disney store in the mall, and we could just go there. If you want to go to Disney World, we just go to the mall, and I don't touch anything. That all belongs to Mickey.
That was a great store, by the way.
Wouldn't know. I was never allowed to buy anything.
But I remember there was like a big screen TV that was always playing a movie. And then in front of it was like this huge pit of like stuffed animals. Yeah. So all different characters.
So many things that just
it was so expensive. I don't think I've ever bought anything either, but it was fun to go in.
But that's why Chris Carr likes it so much, because he had a great childhood. So like you could go back to being a kid, and his was great. I go there and I just like get traumatized. Yeah, I might spill something, and my dad's going to yell at me.
Don't touch with your eyes. Yeah, no, I get that. I get that for sure.
I don't want to bring back my childhood.
I used that quote from Chris Carr that I think you made up with Chris Carr being, and we love Chris Carr, by the way. He might see this.
Great guy, strong for no reason.
Super strong.
Actually, that's the guy I am most afraid of on the planet.
Really?
That's the one dude I would.
If he snapped, he would be dangerous.
He'd kill everybody in the room.
He was goofy strong, but like didn't look like it. Just could do things that he's not. His body shows that he shouldn't be able to do.
He's so strong. Was it the flashlight one?
No, it was Daddy. Buy me this man.
Buy me this man.
Buy me this man. I use that shit anytime anything about a spoiled brat gets brought up, I say that, and everyone's like, "The fuck?"
Yeah, I still owe all my money to Chris Carr's dad.
Oh my gosh, that's funny as hell. So switching gears a little bit, you just got married.
I did.
Congratulations.
So we were like a day apart.
We were a couple. So I was the 6th, June 6th.
I was June 3rd.
Yeah, so 3 days apart.
Big days.
Cheers to us. We'll drink to that. Salud. And how's it going so far? She's still alive?
Yeah, love it.
You saw Robin. She's not in any life-threatening.
She told me she was not suicidal, so I have to take her for her word.
It's going well, man.
You doing the metal ring? You rubber guy?
I got the rubber ring.
See, I did the metal. I don't wear it at work. I did it. I got a cork inlay with a float
nice,
line.
Dude. That's fancy.
Dude, craziest thing about it. Dude out of New York makes these. Found them on Instagram. $60, handmade.
Really?
So me and her were on our honeymoon. We're in Yosemite. Go to get a piece of pizza like in the park. No seats. This other couple, hey, you guys can sit here. So we're bullshitting with them. And I looked down at the dude's hand. I was like, dude, I have the same ring on. He goes, get the hell out. Guy from New York. Instagram. I was like, yeah. I was like, it was just the craziest thing. Me and him both had the same exact ring on from the same guy. And he was from Nevada. I was from
Pennsylvania. So he's pretty famous, this dude.
It's like he has a ton of followers. His Instagram, I think, is Surrounded by Wild. Shout out to him.
Surrounded by Wild.
Surrounded by Wild.
Maybe we'll put a link. I'll put a link in for him. You're happy with it?
I love it.
Okay. Put a link in the description for him. I'm trying to shut my watch off, guys. It's a brand new watch. I apologize. It keeps going off. There we go.
Only if you got an Apple Watch.
Apples are for children.
Yeah.
So
they also have away.
What are you doing now at the gas company? You're still employed by People's Gas?
Still employed by People's Gas.
Shout out to People's Gas, keeping everybody warm.
Appreciate the paychecks. No, I am the work group leader of the transmission and storage line crew.
TNS for
TNS,
short, yeah.
That was the dream job when I was at the contractors, and here we are 10 years later.
You made it.
I made it.
How do you... Is it everything you wanted it to be?
Everything and more.
This is going to be on the internet.
It's everything and more. I got Bo on the crew now. I got a great group of guys.
That's good. That's real good. Bo's a horse, man.
3 old guys, 3 young guys. It's just us. We go out, get left alone, and
do your thing.
Just go bang steel pipe into the ground.
That's cool.
It's a lot of paperwork on my end, but it's a great feeling because we do some really high profile jobs there now. So it's like all these massive stations that feed all of Altoona and Johnstown.
I was gonna say, where's your area now?
Everything.
Expanded, really?
If People's Natural Gas has a line on the ground, it's ours.
How many other TNS crews are there?
They're putting a second one on.
But you're the only one right now?
Right now, we've been the only one for 15 years. This is the only TNS crew. I'm the 3rd leader of the TNS.
Really? Good for you, man. That's fucking. That's actually like, pretty serious.
Like trilogy shit.
No pressure.
No pressure, none. I was like, when I first got, I was like, God, I hope I don't run this into the ground.
What's the farthest you've been for a job?
Oh, Altoona's a haul. That's
a hike.
That job was exactly 100 miles each way from my door.
So I did a couple jobs out in Altoona when I was with Superior. That drive sucks. Dude.
It's terrible.
Just sit on 22 forever.
Well, dude, I was taking the turnpike. It was like 10 miles longer, but
you can go faster.
I go 90 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Not that I would in a company vehicle, but of course the potential was there.
Right. Where's your shop located?
We're housed out of Greensburg, but we're never there.
Okay.
Like
materials and stuff. Like you have sheds somewhere.
I get a shed in Greensburg. There's a big yard up in Allegheny. But like if we're working out of Johnstown, I get everything delivered to Johnstown. Hey, go grab it.
Oh,
hey,
nice.
We need this. Nice. Go grab it. Take a truck. Go grab this. Hey, this is down here. Go grab it. It's just we don't see people. We call ourselves Steel Team 6. It's just the dumbest thing.
I like that.
Steel Team 6, and then the 4-man crew they're putting on, we're calling them the Fabricating 4. They don't know that yet.
That's a good one. So how many guys? You have 4 guys? 5 guys?
I have 5 guys. Me and 5 guys, so 6 total on the crew.
Gotcha. All of you have your own trucks?
Yep.
So no partner. You don't ride with anybody.
That's so boring, dude.
Oh, no.
It's so like there's so many times like driving home from like Johnstown, Altoona and stuff like. God, I wish Ken, just anybody was here I could talk to. Like, podcasts get old after a while.
Oh, yeah.
Not this one.
No. This one you could listen to for days. Yeah, man, I miss, I get that question a lot. So, for those of you that do know or don't know, I was at the gas company for a couple years. And I ended up doing the one thing that nobody does.
You left.
I left.
An impossible feat.
The saying always goes, you die or you retire from the gas company. That's it. You run that for the end, and it's an amazing job.
You retire, and then 4 weeks later you die.
Yeah. That's usually how it goes statistically. But I left. I had an opportunity to do what I'm doing now, which I absolutely love. Being a mortgage broker, but. I get that question a lot. Do you miss it? And I'm like, I don't necessarily miss the hard shit. Like, sitting like right now, you get a call out right now. It's fucking freezing.
Yeah, it sucks.
It's miserable. You get stuck in the rain when you have to. Rain clause doesn't work all the time, guys. Sometimes you have to work in the rain.
There's none on TNS.
I have videos. Of us like knee deep in water, just water's rolling in off the street. Trav is fucking cranking pipes underneath. It's pouring down rain on him. Like, I don't miss that shit. I miss the guys. I miss
the camaraderie.
I miss the shared suffering.
I couldn't work in an office and not ball bust. Like that would just.
It's hard.
That would ruin my life.
Right.
I'd be fired. I'd be like an.
Well, that's why we shifted the Keeping It Real, because it was the Keeping It Real Estate podcast. It's just the Keeping It Real podcast now, because you got to let loose, dude. You got to be able to shoot the shit and be who you are, and it's hard. Like when I first started in the office, I remember that I would take phone calls. And I wouldn't cuss on the phone like with a client or whatever, like my first sales calls and whatever else, until that dude or that client started cussing.
He opens the door,
and he's like, yeah, man, I can't fucking believe these damn rates and blah, blah, blah. And then it's like, yeah, fuck that shit. Blah, blah, blah. And you start going off because it's like, okay, I'm cool. And then I look over at the owner of my company, and he's like, what is he doing? And I have all these crazy sayings because we have crazy sayings. Like the gas company.
Like Dave Harhai-isms?
Yeah, like just the craziest shit you could think
Horse
of.
fucking.
Right.
That looks like snail shit. There's words that don't go together.
They don't exist. But when you say it to people that have never heard it, you are fucking brilliant. Like I bring the pipeline into my work, into my cadence. And they're like, this dude is fuck. It's like Professional meets Larry the Cable Guy. Like, what? How does he think of this shit? And I'm like, bro, I've been with old, creepy ass dudes my whole fucking life.
There's a distinct thing, like with any of those terms I just said, like, if I tell you something that looks like snail shit, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I
can go to any construction worker site, like, if we're grading a job, like, flutter fuck it in there. And there's no other explanation that, like, oh, he wants me to take the bucket and just go like this and shake it out level. Yeah. That's flutter fucking.
Yes.
Even if you never heard it before on a construction job, you know what I mean.
It just makes sense for the application that you're dealing with.
Flutter fucking.
Yeah, it's wild. And so I bring a lot of that into, I think one of my favorite things is, like, you know, you deal with different people every day in real estate, but especially in Western PA, most of these people are just like us.
Yeah.
So, like, you'll get past that, like, professional point, and then it's like,
you can be the bud.
I like this guy, right? He's just like me. Or, like, especially if I'm dealing with, like, construction workers, union guys, or whatever else that are trying to get pre-approved, it's like, bro, I know. You don't have to explain that shit to me. I know. I've been there personally. My hands don't have calluses anymore, but they did. I promise you they did.
God, so much lotion.
Until I started operating. Yeah. Operating was the best, dude.
Wasn't it?
Was that the best operator you ever had work for you? Dan's watching. Boy. I hope Dan's watching. Pickle's a gangster operator, but he wasn't on your crew. He wasn't on my crew. That doesn't count.
Pickle was a stud operator. I'm going to say you were by far the fastest and best. Dan was a extreme... I'm not going to hit anything.
Dan was very meticulous, yeah.
Once we got him to finally stop digging graves, he was really good. Because Dan, for those of you that don't know, Dan Lokar,
reach out to Dan.
Was a
Big Danny,
a grave digger.
He was, yeah, literally
at Allegheny Cemetery.
Not the monster truck, but like dug graves.
But for his first year, every hole that he dug was exactly 4 feet wide, 8 feet long, and 6 feet deep. Yeah. And they were perfect.
His control is really good.
Yeah, he knew exactly what a hole looked like, and that was the hole he was going to give you. I loved working with Dan too.
Where's Dan at now? Do you know what he's doing?
Dan's he's a fitter leader for what used to be Phil's side.
No shit, good for him. Yeah, shout out to Dan.
He's got a kid now too.
Danny's got a kid. Yeah. It's probably the nicest fucking kid in the world. Like the most polite. Dan's a big motherfucking guy. Like Dan's probably what 6'2", 6'3".
I bet she's 6'4".
Really? Probably like 250. Like he's a big boy. He reminds me of. He's a lumberjack. Like he would be a lumberjack, dude. And he is he's sweetest,
like Brock Lesnar
nicest.
If you weren't scared of Brock Lesnar, like, just a huge guy but just a teddy bear.
Yeah, just awesome. Dan's a good guy, man. Shout out to him. I'm happy for Dan.
Yeah, he's doing
for that. I haven't seen him since.
He got a house out by Bo. Got a kid.
Yeah, I did hear about the house. So we talked. So I just started playing around with his situation, financial, because I was going to help him get a house. Things ended up going a different way. But the last time I talked to Dan was at his father's funeral. Yeah. Was when I talked to him last.
Dude, you knew every low car as soon as you walked in.
Oh, it was like Land of the Giants.
They're all giant, nice
people. It was Land of the Giants.
Even the women.
Yeah, the whole time I'm walking through, and I'm not the shortest guy. I mean, we're not.
I am.
Well, you're shorter, but like 5'9", 3/4. I'd say 5'10" on my license. But like the whole time I'm like, sorry for your walk. I'm sorry for you.
My neck hurt.
I'm hugging people like this.
My neck hurt.
They were all very large individuals. How about Pick? How's Pickle doing?
Pickle's killing it.
What's he doing now?
He's fitter leader on Steve's side. He slid into Bo's job.
Good for him.
Bo moved out.
Good for him. I love Pickle.
He quit smoking like a year ago.
Really?
Yeah. He's a Zen guy now.
Pickle?
Yeah.
Pickle was a rumbler, bro. I remember, what was it? Wasn't there a big fight was it McFadden's? I feel like there was a big fight at McFadden's on the north side.
There's always a fight at McFadden's, so I never went down.
Yeah, Pickle's a gangster, man. Good for him, though. I'm glad those guys are doing well. And just so you guys know, these are our crews. So, like, when I was there, I was in O&M, which is observation and maintenance. Is that right? Operational maintenance. I don't even know. But we fix shit, right? We fix the leaks. We go find the leaks. We repair them. There was 3 crews. So it was me and Trav was a crew. Chris Carr and Bird were a crew. And then Trav and Pickle were a crew. And then we had our truck drivers and stuff like Dan. And Dan ended up making operator.
Kirkwood.
Where's he at? Is he still in the gas company?
Nah, dude.
So he went to Kiski.
He went to Kiski, then Valley, then Greensburg, then back to Valley, and that was the end of him.
They cut him.
Oh, yeah, he gone.
Really?
Yeah, falsifying documents.
You know how hard it is to get fired from the gas company?
He did it.
Here's a funny story.
That's the one thing he was good at.
Yeah.
Fucking up.
You hated him.
Yeah.
See,
here's the thing. It's not like It's not like I just wake up every morning and I fucking hate this guy. Like he did
he earned it. Stuff wrong. He earned it, yeah.
To make my life harder, that he gave me no choice but to just lash out.
Yeah. I think you are a lot quicker to get to that point than most people. Like the Napoleon, like the only person that I know that has like the Napoleon syndrome worse than you is my nephew.
You gotta be angry. It's
like you will fucking lose it. Like I remember these people. We set cones up. We blocked the road. We shut the road down. We're jackhammering this road, and the cones weren't set up the most perfect. Like there was enough room for a car to get through, but like you've seen the cones. So like, and you could see us within 50 yards. You could see us jackhammer in the middle of the road, and this lady didn't know any better. She like comes, she pulls up, and she looks, and she starts creeping through, and Trav throws the jackhammer down. Did you not see these fucking cones? Grabs the cone, fucking chucks it towards her car. She's like trying to back up. It's like a whole thing, and me and the other guys are just like, holy shit, bro. But yeah, that was your temper was. It was your calling card.
Someone asked me the other day, like, what's the worst thing you've ever said to somebody?
Oh God!
And it was, I think I was with you. We were driving through Delmont, and we had that brand new gang truck.
Yeah.
And I remember. And that woman almost took the front end off me, just blew a stop sign. And I remember hanging out the window, screaming into her down passenger window, saying, "I hope you watch your grandson choke to death on a Lego."
Yeah.
That was the worst thing I've ever said.
Yeah, I remember that vividly. I remember, and I can't do like I'm a passenger, and I'm sitting there. I'm just like, oh God! Like there were so many of those situations where like I flip out in traffic a lot, but like my windows are up, and I'm flipping out either to myself or to people in my car. Like you take the next level of I need to let them know about themselves directly. Like they need to know. I can't just be mad and let them think that they got away with something.
Everyone was like, no one was mad at me, but it was the same thing of like aghast. We were doing a night turn job right in downtown, like the base of the steel building. We were piping down there.
Okay.
Over like Easter. Started Easter Sunday at 6 p.m.
Gotcha.
And we had a loner truck driver. And, like, it was a lot of build-up. He was not good from Aetna Construction.
Okay.
And, like, day 8 of this process, he fucked up. Like, he didn't have a key on him, but he drove the whole way back to the shop. Didn't get stone. I needed, like, road plates were gone. Like, I needed the stone.
Fucking construction guys.
And he pulled back and was like, I don't have any stone. And lost my fucking, like, he was in the truck still driving, and I was following beside this motherfucking, tell me he was the stupidest person I ever met.
Yeah.
The world would be a better place without him in it. And the next day, like, why would you say this? And I was like, that guy went his whole life up to that day thinking he was doing good. Because no one ever told him how bad he truly is. I said, I guarantee he's a better man because of it. And guess what? He is. They said he's killing it now. They said he was terrible up till like 3-4 months after that. Like,
you're taking credit.
I'm taking credit for that.
Okay, but you also understand that not everybody is responsive to that kind of.
It's a terrible way to treat people.
But here's the thing, guys. Too, you got to take this into consideration. We're all grown ass men, and even the women that are there are grown ass men.
Yeah.
So like, it's different. Like that situation relayed into like my world now. I wouldn't be able to find a job within 50 miles of here. You know what I mean? But like in construction and in union and it's just a completely different world. And it's something that, honestly, I miss because in the industry that I'm in now, you can't do that shit.
No.
You gotta write a fucking email and like use different words. Right. Like try and like, dude, I'll write emails and then I'll be like, oh, no. It started over. No. And then I'd be like, Rob, read this. And she'd be like, oh my God, you can't say that. I'm like, fuck, this is
adult incompetent.
This is the best version I've had in the last 3 hours. So, no, it is different. But and that's something, like I said, it's something that I miss because it was just, if it was wrong, it was wrong. And if it was right, it was right.
If there's no one to check you, you're going to keep fucking up.
Yeah.
And in a career, especially with the gas industry, where like if you fuck up bad enough,
people die.
People die.
Yeah. The shit explodes. That's what I always tell them. Like, it explodes. Now,
that's why the water authority always hated me because we'd dig without one calls. Like, no one ever drowned on a water line.
No.
Calm down.
No.
No one cares about your stuff.
I've hit my share of water. That's for sure. Bro, do you remember...
The Italian guy?
The Italian guy.
Go ahead. No, I hit that one.
No, so I don't even think we hit it. But I think it was 17th Street on the south side.
Mary and Jane and 17th Street.
It flooded that basement.
It flooded all the basements.
Yeah, with
the dude had a Louis Vuitton couch.
Yes, handmade. Or no, it was
Ralph Lauren.
Ralph Lauren. Yeah,
he had it sent out to be reupholstered.
Yes. And I think that was his mistress's house.
Dude, there was some
because she was like
stuff.
25 years younger than he was.
Dude, I went to that deposition and talked for 6 straight hours.
So
and that dude should not have been with a 23-year-old.
No, it didn't make sense. He was an attorney. Right?
Oh yeah,
he was a high level attorney.
That's why I ended up at a deposition.
Yeah.
Got that dude like $50,000 out of the Water Authority's pocket. We didn't pay a dime.
I remember.
You know what I got? A firm handshake and a thank you.
That's the thing.
You know we own boxes in every arena in the city. I got a firm handshake.
Didn't get anything. Did you ever get Penn's tickets or anything?
One time.
Did you?
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
It'd be awesome. I never got shit.
That box is pretty sick.
Do you miss the city at all? Now that you're kind of all over the place?
Dude, I miss the food.
The food. So I literally have that written down right here. We worked. So tell the people where our area was. Our operational area for O&M.
If you crossed a river, that was us. If you drove into downtown Pittsburgh and had to cross a river, we had everything. We had Troy Hill, Southside, Robinson, Mount Lebanon,
Cannonsburg,
South Fayette.
Like that was like the edge. Yeah, Bridgeville.
We had so much stuff, and it was just
Brookline
and Sinker, Las Palmas tacos,
Las Palmas, and Scoops on Boulevard.
Scoops right across the street.
We had Mount Leb too. So the other Scoops is in Mount Lebanon, right?
There was a Scoops in Mount Lebanon. There was that secret one we found on Mansfield and Carnegie.
Yep.
So good.
Dude,
I'd eat ice cream any day.
We ate. See, that's the thing. Like, and it's hard because like in comparison, like before. So like I said, I did the contracting thing, and for a while I worked in New York, like New York City. I worked right outside of New York City. I worked in the city, Bronx. I worked in Saugerties, New York.
That'd be the place to be for food.
And it was amazing for food. Every corner had a. You could get a bacon, egg, and cheese everywhere.
The best one you ever had.
Anywhere. Like, their hot dogs on the corner were amazing with chili, and it was wild. The food there in New York, you can't beat it. There's Jamaican. It's a melting pot. But Pittsburgh does have a lot of good fucking food. Like, dive shit. Like, places you wouldn't want to go or wouldn't think to go. It's not like upscale shit. Everyone wants to go to Mount Washington or whatever else, but... Like, for instance, I was thinking about this when I was putting notes in. That gas station on the bottom of Troy Hill, like Deutschtown up there.
Yeah, man.
What do you remember what it's the Shell station?
Marshall's.
Well, that's what it was. Marshall's.
The greatest Reuben you'll ever eat.
Amazing.
Crab cakes.
The crab cakes. They had crab cakes.
They weren't crab cakes.
In a like if you go to a gas station, you know that like the cooler that they keep like the bait and tackle in, like earthworms and shit. It was like a little one like that.
You had to move the earthworms aside.
And there was like this little bowl with these crab cakes, but they were like the size of softballs,
They're
dude.
called Herky Balls was the actual name. Herky Balls.
So good.
Bloomfield made of the old country.
And this old lady would sit in the back, and you go up to her, you get a sandwich. You get like I always got a bacon, egg, and cheese on like an English muffin, and she would cook it right in front of you. It's like this little griddle.
Made to order.
In like a closet. Like, for real. It's the ghettoest shit ever. While she's making these, me and Trav are going to the corner to play on the fucking claw machine game.
Dude.
Which Trav might be. So my little sister Desiree is the best person I've ever met. And I operated for fucking 12 years. She is the best one of our family at the claw game. I'm really good, but she is amazing. Travis, I don't think have you had an L on a claw machine, dude? I don't know the last time he lost.
I don't lose on a claw.
So we would get these stuffed animals out of this claw machine in this gas station, and then we put them on the dash of our truck. There had to be at one point probably 15 fucking stuffed animals.
When I went to TNS, like I had all those stuffed animals.
Ooh.
And I was like, oh, I'm not taking these with me. I set 2 stuffed animals on every gang truck.
No shit.
There was like 30. By the time I left, there were
so many.
There was like 30.
Every time there was times that you would get 2 stuffed animals at one try, bro.
Yeah, that was a good.
Oh my god.
That was a heavy grip claw though too. That thing was like a cheat code.
It wasn't a good. Yeah, it wasn't good for making money.
No, that was not a money maker.
That's an old school claw machine.
I was killed at that one.
They had a walk-in humidor in that gas station as well
in Southwest Pennsylvania.
And I'm saying it was probably
half the size of this,
50 square feet, like legitimately.
It was a good size.
There was like 3 aisles, the claw machine in the back, this little closet with this cutout for her to make your sandwiches, the little door next to it that like went into a humidor that was an average bathroom. Like
they had everything you needed. Remember how many times we need spray foam? Go to Marshall's.
Yeah, they have everything there.
Well, we're out of wholesale bits. Marshall's has them. Mm-hmm. They had everything we needed.
Yeah. If you guys are in that area, in the Troy Hill, Deutschtown area,
what is that road?
I can't remember the name of the road.
It's right off of Wickline.
It's the main road. Yeah, a little bit further from where the fire department is, further down,
right above Breadworks.
In between, what was right past that? The meadery was right past that, right? The
meadery was right across the street, and Breadworks is right down the street.
So, check it out. It's literally, the breakfast sandwiches are amazing.
The Reubens. There's 2 pounds of meat on those Reubens.
So much food. So much food.
Yeah, that's the thing I miss the most about the city. It was just like, okay, we're here today. How exciting. We get
What's around?
We get to go here. Mm-hmm. We're like, oh, we're in Mount Lebanon. Let's go to Grandpa Joe's candy store. And then go to Las Palmas on the way back.
Las Palmas. Oh.
Best taco I've ever had.
Best taco ever. I still go there. And I have no reason to be in Brookline.
Remember how bummed out would get when they get shut down by the health department?
Yeah.
No, they're down for a week. Which still didn't stop us.
When they would open back up, it was like nothing ever happened. Dude, it's like, they can't hold y'all down, bro. They can't hold y'all down.
Any other place you go to, like, oh, dude, that place got shut down by the health department. Not eating there. This place, like, dude, fuck the health department.
Yeah. What do they know?
They don't know anything.
What do they even know? Who cares what temperature the milk's at? We're not buying milk. Yeah, it's so good. It's even to this day, it's still, I would argue to say it's the best taco in Pittsburgh.
No doubt.
100%.
Not a question.
Now, here's the issue that we had, and this was an ongoing battle between with the gang trucks, right? So in our group, like I said, there was the 3 crews. Excuse me, was you could go to Las Palmas, or you could go 3 buildings down by the fire department and get Peterland and get some gyros. Now, Peterland's gyros are fucking fire.
So you say. I've never had them.
The French fries with the like mayo sauce that they have, amazing. And then I think it's baklava, the dessert.
Oh yeah, the flaky.
Fantastic with pistachios on it. Yeah. Amazing. But can I get that in lieu of Las Palmas?
I couldn't walk away from Las Palmas.
No, I couldn't. And this is it's a legit divided house. Like half of the guys would only go to Peterland, half of us would only go to Las Palmas.
Like Meebo and Pickle, we're buddies. But like if that comes up, I don't know you.
No, agree to disagree. And we would watch each other like we're in line at the taco and we're looking literally 3 buildings down, and they're about to walk into Peterland, and there's this like hatred for each other. Fuck you.
And then we'd sit on the curb together and eat
bullshit. Right, and then we bullshit. And then we'd all go get ice cream across the street at Scoops on Boulevard.
Great day. Remember the day I found $20 right down this. We were like working right on the corner of Scoops. Like, oh shit, $20.
$20.
Ken, do you want to get ice cream?
Duh. Like if you think about it, so there was a couple times where we were probably there 3-4 days in a row.
Oh yeah.
Like tacos, ice cream, 3 to 4 days in a row, consistently.
Not a good look.
Horrible for us.
Still good.
But like, here's the thing: if we weren't doing that, we're getting fucking buffalo chicken rollers from 7-Eleven or some shit. Like, I realized when I left because I was working in an office, and then primarily I was working from home, how much money I fucking spent. Like every morning, we would have our briefing, we'd bullshit, smoke cigarettes, drink coffee, and then go straight to Gecko in Carnegie.
Yep. You grab a sandwich. You're eating a 12-inch sub that costs $10
at fucking 8 o'clock in the morning with 2 sodas to last me throughout the day, a new can of snuff or a new pack of smokes, and we burn through everything to the point where
hey, it's 2:00. We gotta
go get something, or hopefully we run into another one of our crews where we can bum fucking cigarettes off of them because we smoked a whole fucking pack already.
Dude, we used to smoke so many cigarettes.
Like it was bad. We were gunning sticks, bro.
I remember one day me and Chris Carr were together on Wick Line, and we couldn't leave.
Yeah,
but we could walk down to Marshall's.
Yes.
We smoked 3 packs of cigarettes in like a 16-hour day.
You were running the hoe down to get cigarettes. Yeah, because that leak, we were there all night. We were stuck on that leak.
Nightmare.
I remember it because I got home and like if you smoke a lot of cigarettes at night or whatever, and you're out or whatever, you wake up the next morning, you're like, oh man, like you feel like shit. I felt like that before I fell asleep like because I smoked.
I hope I never so many cigarettes.
Like. I could smell my fingers. Like it was so bad. When's the last time you had a cigarette?
Months.
Really?
Yeah.
I think I had cigarette on Thanksgiving. I bummed the cigarette. Actually, I bought a pack for me and my nephew. It's like a tradition.
A cigarette probably actually before my wedding.
Really? That long?
It's been a while.
Good for you. They're not good anymore. And I don't know if it's because of these vapes.
Dude, I think it is. Like,
because honestly, when we met, we were both on Black and Milds.
Yeah.
We were smoking wines. You like the wood tips. I like the plastics.
No, I was plastic.
Okay. That's right.
Someone else was wood tip.
No, you like the jazz.
I was jazz plastic.
Right. I was the wines. Yeah.
So we had that in common. We clicked so fast.
Yeah. Well, see, I remember the first day.
Even though you thought I was like 43 and I was 25.
I definitely thought you were so fucking old. And it was that day. So it was the first day. I remember it like it was yesterday. I walk in, I bullshit, and I'm like, here's my problem. So Bogert is an A at this time.
Yeah.
I trained Bogert. I taught Bogert how to fuse pipe. Like I taught him how to wire shit up. And he's a boss. So like I felt some type of way because I was way behind the curve of getting into the gas company. And when I finally got in and I'm seeing who's running the crews, I'm like, motherfucker, I trained you guys. Like, I know these cats because they came after me and the contractors and then made their way in. And I'm like, this is fucking bullshit. And then I find out that I got fucking Dave Harhai's son, of all people. And like I said, Dave is the guy you love to hate at work. Outside of work, he's cool. At work, I fucking can't stand him. And he's like, you're with Harhai. And I'm like,
not again.
Like, it was like a flashback. Everything started spinning. I'm like, fuck.
The first words were like, so you're Dave Harhai. So I was like, and I said, yeah, fuck that guy. You're like, okay, cool.
Bro, immediately. I was loading, I was cranking down the compressor to put on the 1 ton to fucking go to a job with you. And you jumped over and you're like, hey, you know my dad, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. And he's like, fuck that guy. And I was like, yes, we're going to be okay.
Dude, you dropped the greatest line on your first day of work because I suck at shooting. I'm like 0 for 10.
Oh, I'm a fucking gangster at shooting moles.
And we had the
Well, hold on. Explain to them what shooting a mole is.
A mole is what is that? Stainless steel cylinder.
Yeah, the pneumatic.
Like 3 feet long, runs off of air pressure, and just tink, tink. You put it in, you dig
it. It looks like a torpedo that runs off of air. So it's like a torpedo, and there's this slide hammer inside of it. This cylinder that hits, and as it hits, it goes underground and it bores a hole from one side of the road or distance to another hole. So you can technically insert something into that hole without having to dig up the road, like trenchless.
So we had to shoot like a 60-foot mole shot diagonally across the road, and I always put a shovel in the exit side to aim for. And I said, you looked at me, you said, how are you at shooting moles? I said, dude, I'm terrible at shooting moles. How are you at shooting moles? You said, dude, I'm the Chris Kyle of shooting moles. And goddamn it, if you didn't knock that shovel over 60 feet away, diagonal across the...
It's my favorite thing. It was my favorite thing to do.
And I was like, this guy's on my crew.
It was so good. It was so fucking good. I was nervous the whole time because there is
something so outlandish as I'm the Chris Kyle of shooting moles,
and then I fuck up, because here's the thing: you never know what's under the road. There could be rocks, there could be pipes, there could be all kinds of shit.
You get one bad piece of shale and it shoots you down.
And it's like it takes, and then all of a sudden it's coming up, and you're watching the middle of the road starts going tick 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 tick, and it's like poking a hole through the road. So like anything bad could happen, or it could dive.
I'd take a roll. Mine always dive.
It's bad. It's bad. You really got to know, like, you get a level, you put a level on the mole, eyeball it, you feel it, you test the ground, all these different things, and you line up your shot and whatever else. And I said that, and fucking, I hit the post of that shovel. It was sitting on the side of the road. So you figure there's 2 holes on either side of this road, and you're going underneath, and it was like ting, 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 ping.
It wasn't straight either.
No, it was a crooked shot. And it was
perfect.
I've always been good.
Dude, I'm good at claw machines. You're good at shooting moles. I'll tell you which one I'd rather be, and it's shooting moles.
What does that dude say? I can't even remember the name of the movie, that classic
Lucky
movie.
Than Good?
When he's like talking, he's like, I think it's Woody Harrelson. Or
I'm just an average guy with a big dick.
Yeah, that's exactly it.
Standalone season of any show ever.
Yeah, I
love
it.
Of True Detective.
True Detectives, that's what it was.
Did you watch the new season yet? Creepy as fuck.
Is it not good?
No, it's great.
Is it?
Yeah, that's the first.
It's
the first
so weird, dude. I don't know. It gets weird.
They're tying it together. They found a girl like buried in the ice with like the same little like.
Oh really?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could do it.
Dude, do it. It's good.
I'll try it.
First episode is great.
I'll try it. I tell stories to my buddies in the industry that I'm in now, and I don't think anybody believes me for a lot of these things. Because here's the thing: we drove around, like he said, we serviced pretty much the entire city of Pittsburgh, and even when we weren't in our area, there's times where things would happen. We have to go help other crews out that serviced other areas. So we could be right downtown. We could be, we did an emergency blow leak. Right in front of Heinz Field, right on Ridley Boulevard. One. Yeah, that was crazy.
It's like, what's all that dirt doing on it?
It was just shoot. It was like Old Faithful. You could see it coming over the bridge.
That was when I had I put the fire alarm on the truck through the Bluetooth.
Oh yeah, like emergency crews.
Then we get there, there's like senators.
Dude, it was nuts. Like people were worried about, is Heinz Field going to be here? And we're like, yeah, we're good.
You're fine.
And that's another thing is like, so. Pause that to go into natural gas, right? So it's terrifying. Like in reality, it is something that is not to be taken lightly by any means. If you guys smell gas in your house or whatever else, you need to play with it seriously. A lot of people saw, unfortunately, the situation that happened in Plum a few months ago.
Yeah.
Where people lost their lives, and we always had that saying that like, if you fuck up, if you don't take this shit seriously. And that goes again to the way you were with people fucking up on the job. Like, you have to know what the fuck you're doing, bro, because you can turn an entire house into
destroy a family.
Popsicle sticks. Like literally,
fuck the house, you can kill a family.
You lose lives, people die, and it's something that it might not be while you're on the job. It might be 2 weeks later. It might be a year later. But it's something that you were negligent with. So, like, it's no joke. Like, we don't, all of these jokes, like, it's the same with, when I worked in first responders, like, sometimes people are a little bit morbid with shit, like, doing CPR and everything like that. But that's because, as a human, you have to be able to detach yourself from how serious it is, or you're going to go crazy, right? And gas is the same way. So, when we talk about it, don't think... the next things that are probably going to be said, don't think that we're making light of it by any means. It's not a joke. It's not, it's something serious that you can literally end families. You can kill people. It's dangerous.
Biggest fear.
But with that being said, there's a couple situations that I want to bring up. The first one is, do you remember when you got gassed out?
No, dude, I just told that story. You wouldn't believe. And I would say that like this is the greatest thing anyone that leaves the gas company or retires can hope to accomplish is like, I hope they talk about me when I'm gone.
For sure. It's a legacy.
You get brought up. You should know that you get brought up a lot.
I love that. I'm going to go with Johnny Drum.
You doing Johnny?
I don't know, dude. Is there anything that you saw? I just don't want you to miss out on anything.
I want to try that drum.
You want to try Johnny? So I got this in Delaware also. I had it for the first time at the Lot. Shout out to the Lot in Oakmont.
Love that place. You can eat crab legs on Thursdays.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Or Tuesdays.
And Tuesdays. And the bartender upstairs turned me on to this. He made me a Manhattan with it. And I was like, okay, yeah. And I had it, and I really liked it. And I was like, let me try it by itself. It's about 100 proof, I think.
Smells a little sharp.
50.5, so double that. Yeah, it's like 101 proof. It's cheap. I think it was $25-$30 for this bottle that I got out there. But it's very good. It's very good. And that's the thing with whiskey, dude.
You can buy a $70 bottle and it's terrible.
It's horrible.
I got a bottle of Penelope single barrels. It was like $80, and it's still. I can't give it away.
We were talking about that. I remember I texted you because I got this Architect, which I do like the Architect.
I see that.
That's me by myself. I did that over the course of like a few months. I'm not that bad, but I have some of my most. So there's a Kentucky Owl up there, confiscated. That's about $130.
Those are good.
Jacob's Pardon is around that, $120. All of these whiskeys that I have, there's a lot of expensive ones. I'll take a $30 bottle over all of them.
Dude.
Like, legitimately, that Kentucky Owl, it's good. But that Tennessee whiskey, the Nelson Brothers Sour Mash,
$30,
shits on it. Shits on it. Like, there's no code to it, you know? It's not like, just because it's more expensive doesn't mean it's better.
Absolutely not.
What did you think about this? You like it?
I like it. But the gassed out thing.
It's proofed up a little bit more than the, what did we fucking have? The Redwood, which is good. You usually want to start the lower proofs and work your way up. That way you don't burn yourself out. But go ahead. So gas out story.
The gas out story. Me and Bo were just telling that story like literally 2 days ago.
No shit.
Max.
That makes me feel good.
And I was underneath. We were on Washington Ave, right by that swimming pool in like Mount Lab.
Yep.
And I was underneath the sidewalk, like my head and hips were completely tunneled underneath the road.
Yeah. So we didn't have to dig the road up. We just kind of burrowed in.
And I remember I was trying to tighten the fittings on everything, and like my hands like weren't doing what my head wanted them to do. Yeah. And then all of a sudden they just dropped. Honestly, I remember thinking, "Fuck." And then all of a sudden just getting drug out.
Yeah.
You saved my life.
I did.
Picked me up, sat me outside. You good? I was like, I'm fine. And just puked.
It was bad. It was so bad.
Every time I've gotten gas out, I puked.
Yeah. So, can you explain to them what natural gas does to you when you're breathing it?
Basically, you're suffocating. You have a insufficient amount of oxygen going into your lungs. You're just breathing straight.
So it's not toxic.
Not a toxic fume. It's just it's not a livable.
Yeah, it displaces the oxygen in your lungs. So it's literally sucking the oxygen out of you as you breathe.
And the nightmare of that is when you're in a gaseous situation. You know you're like, I'm breathing some gas, but I'm okay, and something lights. Your lungs are on fire.
Yeah.
That's the terrifying. That's the terrifying. It goes straight down your windpipe into your lungs, and you're done. And there's no fixing it.
No, you're dead.
Yeah,
you're dead. You'll blister up. Your lungs will fill with fluid, and you die. And you die. Like, that's it. But so that's Travi's abbreviated version. My view of it was a little bit different. So I wasn't, and I don't remember why. I don't know if you punished me. I don't know if it was just a convenience thing. But Dan was digging that day. I wasn't digging that day. And usually I'm the operator. So I drive the backhoe around the city. He drops me off, picks me up, and I drive it to the job. Then we have all these secret locations. It was so cool, dude. I miss the fuck out of it now as we talk about it. But we have all these secret locations and these little lots all stationed around the city of Pittsburgh.
Where we'd hide backhoes.
Yeah, and we'd hide backhoes or materials, stone, gravel, whatever it is, sand, and we would get dropped off. So wherever there was a leak or there was an emergency, we would figure out where the closest backhoe was hidden, and then he would take me there, and I'd get in the hoe, and then I'd go meet him on the job, and we'd dig. Then I'd take the hoe back to that secret location, and, we'd go to the next one. So for some reason, and I can't remember why, but Dan was digging. We were digging this leak up, so we were off the side of the road. Dan was sitting in the road, but we didn't want to chew up the road. Obviously, there's a lot more paperwork. There's a lot more stuff that has to be done for restoration if you start chewing up big roads. So we tunneled under to this line that was leaking. We found the leak, and Trav is under the ground. So he's realistically in a cave, and it was blowing decent. It wasn't super high pressure. It was medium pressure. So there's enough gas that it's constantly coming in. And this could, I guess I don't know if we should go. I mean, we didn't have air movers in there. We didn't have SCBAs. It was different. It was a long time ago. It was way, way different.
It was supposed to be the best case scenario, and it wasn't.
Right. And things happen. You know what I mean? Like, you can prepare for everything. That doesn't mean it's going to be okay.
The long story short is, it came down to us. We fucked up. We should have stepped back.
We should have done it right.
But in the heat of the moment, egos get in the way. I can do it.
It's only going to be 3 minutes instead of doing all this extra stuff.
And that's how you get jammed up.
That's when the bad things happen.
Every time.
Right? So fast forward, he's working, and I knew it was bad because I was in there prepping it for him. Right? So I'm cleaning everything off, brick hammers, getting all the mud off of everything so that he could have a clean working space. And then we were going to switch. And when I was doing that, I was like, oh, you start getting lightheaded because it displaces oxygen. It's creepily, though, it's calming.
Yeah.
And that's dying. The scary part. When you're dying, when you start displacing the oxygen, it actually is like, kind of just like,
it's numb.
Just lets you
go to sleep.
Close your eyes a little bit. And that's how you know it's bad. So Trav's all ready. I clean everything up. He gets all the parts and pieces that he needs to fix this leak. Gets under there. He's crawling underneath, and I'm watching him fucking crank the bolt. You know, he's spinning the T, gets the T out, puts a new one on, and then there's like these things are called compression fittings. He's starting to tighten this up. And I could see, like, as I'm watching him in the back of the hole, I'm looking at him, his motor skills are all fucked up. Like,
I lost all my
because there's a certain way, like you know, your pipe wrench only goes a certain way. So you got to flip it and go the other way. So he went the wrong way, realized it, adjusted it, and then went the wrong way again. And that's not something that you should do. You should immediately know, oh, fuck, that's not the right way. And he did it, and then he did it again, and then the tools just dropped. And I'm like, Trav. And I knew he's out. So grabbed him by his belly, by his abdomen, pulled him out of the hole, fucking grown man threw him onto the side of the ditch.
You're a hero that
And Danny is sitting there like cleaning up the side of the road because he was operating. So he's just cleaning up, and he goes, oh my God. That's all I remember him saying. He goes, oh my God. And Trav's like on the side of the hole, and I could hear. So if you've ever been around somebody that gets gassed out, you can hear it displacing the oxygen pockets in your lungs. It's like a popping sound. It's like a pop, 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 pop. And he's like, pop, pop, pop. I'm like, oh my God. So I had my hand on his back, squeezed his belly. And he's like, yeah, no, I'm good. And then starts yakking, like nausea, uncomfortable.
It's not a good look.
It's bad. It was really bad. And I mean, it happens to everybody. Like everybody, unfortunately, in the industry, everyone gets that. You toe the line a little bit too close.
Not that it should ever be like standard practice for training, but like how cops have to get pepper sprayed before they can.
No, this is a horrible idea, bro.
I know, but like you should know the power of gas.
You should know what it feels like. Yeah, like a gas. I don't think a gas chamber is the right word, but
no.
You should be exposed to it slightly. Because you need to be able to recognize it. You know, if I, like, truth be told,
and how helpless you really are.
If I was fucking off and decided to go play on my phone in the truck while you were doing that.
Because you've never done that.
Yeah. It could have been bad. It could have been really, really bad in hindsight. And it's the lower to medium pressure leaks that do that. It's not the high pressures. You know, we've had some screaming fucking. This is the other one I was thinking about.
To fix.
You remember? So I can't remember the exact location. It was on one of those backwards. I want to say it was Aiken Road. For some reason, Aiken
South
Road
Aiken.
Is what I'm reminded of. It was they were digging. Somebody was digging, and they pulled the T off of a plastic line. They popped the T off. Super high pressure. I get in the machine. We fly down there. Steve is there already. Steve Crown was our supervisor. Shout out to Steve Crown. How's he doing?
Great.
Is he doing good? I fucking miss that guy so much.
Me and Bo decided a long time ago that
you checking up on him and shit?
Oh yeah, I call him all the time. If we're ever in trouble, like at 4 a.m, something terrible happens.
Yeah.
I'm calling Steve Crown before I call my dad.
For sure.
Steve Crown is always awake, and he knows somebody in every county in the state.
Steve is absolutely amazing.
With some power.
Yeah.
Like Steve is
as close as you can get to like a Raymond Reddington.
Yes.
Like he is fucking. I got a guy for that.
Steve is my phone call from prison.
I believe. Yeah, that's a good call. But so Steve was there. You had gotten. So we call these things. We call them piano legs, and they're like,
it's the big wooden cone.
It's a big cone, right? So there's a hole on this big pipe that's ripped off, and we're gonna shove this pointy cone.
We were right off of, we were by the get-go.
You remember now?
Yeah, when I flipped out on the fire department.
It was fucking blowing, bro. Like, that was one of the highest pressure lines we played with together.
That was in between, like, Robinson Boulevard and Hunter Road.
Yep. And Trav jumps in immediately. So we have to get our FR clothes, our flame-resistant clothes. Flame retardant? Retardant. Can you use that word?
It's 2024.
So Trav gets in first. I come late because I had to grab the machine, and this shit is blowing, like bad. And Trav tries to take this big piano leg. I'm saying it's got to be.
That thing was massive.
It was a big fucking.
We didn't need that.
No, it was huge. And he goes to set it over, and it's like, rips it out of his hands, fucking flies. So he grabs it again, still can't get it. It's blowing hard. So we had a big hammer on the side. So I went, put the point, like pretend this is it. I put the point of the piano leg on the side like this, and then tipped it like this. And I was like, hammer. And Trav comes in, boom, boom, and he's hitting the top of this cone, and it shuts it off. And I remember because it was fucking crazy. And you could see in the crew that was there's eyes in the fire department, if this shit goes, we're fucked.
Yeah,
like we're fucked. I mean, it was fucking screaming.
That was the day I yelled at the firefighters because they wouldn't let us onto the road.
Yeah,
we were there to fix the leak.
Yes,
and then we got it hammered in, and the firefighter that wouldn't let me in said, "Is there anything else I can do for you?" And I said, "Unless that gas leak blew a cat in a tree, I don't know why you were here to begin with."
Yes,
ignorant.
Trav you were mean. Yeah, think about it, but. Don't ask stupid questions. That's a stupid fucking question. And that's the thing, too, is like, I was both. I was a firefighter, and I was the gas guy. They're not the same. Different. Like, you just because you come running in, which is okay and awesome and honorable.
That goes into a burning building.
For sure. But it's not the same with gas.
And gets paid
and you know what else is not the same? Electricity. So, like, gas guys... If there's a whole, like, if my yard was blowing gas right now, I have zero doubt in my mind that Trav wouldn't jump in and figure it out. Like, blowing gas in his face, no question, as would I. If there was an arcing fucking wire or a transformer, nope. We're not going anywhere near it.
Well, that was always the argument, like, every time contract came up. Like, Duquesne Light's making this much an hour, we should be making that. It's like, dude, the electricity just kills you. Gas gives you a real good warning before you're dead. Like, pay those guys $100 an hour. They deserve it. Give Duquesne and West Penn every dime they can get.
Electricity is completely fucking, and it's instant.
But you can't.
There's no signs. I know. And I remember when we would dig because we would see each other out on the jobs, whether there was an accident or something like that. And they're like, "Oh, dude, no, it smells like gas. I'm not getting anywhere near it." And I'm like, you deal with electricity. That shit is instant. Like
no warning.
I remember there was a call that it was a fire call that I was on, and this house had burned down. Was in the process of burning down. It was in Penn Borough in Westmoreland County, and I had gotten a hose off the truck. We were probably like second crew in, and the house is on fire. And I start walking up with this hose, ready to go throw water on this fire, and to the side of the house, so the wires had burned and melted. The electrical wires burned and melted and separated from the house, and they fell. They fell onto this pine tree that was sitting right next to the side of the house. And I was sitting there, I grabbed the wire, and I'm waiting for them to send water. I was planning to hit the pine tree and everything to the right of it because it was all on fire. Yeah. And as I'm waiting, I'm like, give me water, give me water, give me water. And as I'm waiting, it goes... Just like that, the whole tree lights up. It turns into daytime.
No.
And I said, shut the hose off. I was like, I'm not fucking with anything. I waited till this Duquesne, or it was West Penn Power. They come. I'm like, there's fucking electrical wires live all over the fucking place. If I would have put water on that shit, there was no signs, right? Like for us, if it was gas, you can smell it. There's something wrong. You heighten your senses, and even then, it's dangerous. But there's clues. There was no clues in the pitch black that there was fucking thousands and thousands of volts sitting in this fucking pine tree. There was no clues.
And how terrifying is that when Transformers go? That noise.
It was nuts. It was nuts. And it was so bright and intense. And the dude's like, I couldn't do what you do. I'm like, yes, you could. It's not the same. And then everybody shits on the water company.
I was going to say, like, no one cares about the water. No one's ever drowned in a water line. There's going to be somebody on YouTube like, I've seen 15 people drown.
They're going to add the fucking articles into
you have to read obituaries
Flash water line leak. People die in basement like it's a fucking submarine or some shit.
Except for that poor bastard. Did you see that one on TikTok and Instagram? The dude that, like... They had like half the current, like half the flow going through like a 20-inch water main.
Oh, and he got sucked in? Yes, I did see that. Terrible. Fuck that. Yeah. He's dead, right?
Oh, yeah.
You can't get out.
Yeah, they got a couple pieces of him.
Fuck that.
Terrible.
I saw that. So, like, okay, how about this? We were downtown Pittsburgh. It was the biggest line we've ever played with. I want to say it was 36 inches, maybe bigger. And we were putting leak bands on. It was when there was the food trucks and shit were right there, right?
Yeah, I know where you're at.
So we came
down
on
Boulevard of the Allies.
That's what it was, Boulevard of the Allies. Yeah, that was.
Crazy how you remember these jobs.
What's that, bro?
The address.
It's my life, dude. But you remember the specifics. I just remember the moment.
Yeah.
Because truth be told, I was probably asleep on the way to the job or on my phone, and you had to know where the job was. So how big was that line? Do you remember?
That was at least
I want to say it was 36.
It was massive because that leak clamp came in 3 pieces.
Yeah, it was huge. And we were down there for a while.
I was when I screamed at Steve.
It was weird because
we had to use ratchet straps to get it to go around the pipe.
It was monstrous.
I think it was like 20 feet deep too.
You could have gotten sucked into that motherfucker. Like that was big enough to get sucked into. There's another one that I did when I was in the contractors. It was towards Bloomsburg, but I can't remember the name of the street. And there was, I think it was a 30-inch line, 36, somewhere around there. It was huge. I mean, it was like a redwood you were talking about. It was a fucking huge steel line. But that one, it's weird because you don't realize, like, the physics of it. So it's freezing. When this gas is blowing, it's cold air. It's blowing. It's been traveling, whatever. When you start putting rubber and clamps over top of it, it starts heating up because the friction of the rubber is it's a whole different process. And then you look up and there's 5 or 6 guys up on top on the street level, 20 feet above you, 15 feet above you, looking down at you, and it's like, I mean, you're in a grave. It's fucking wild how intense that shit is, like, after the fact. And now it's just like a distant memory of me. But we did some cowboy shit, man.
You're the first person to ever call me a cowboy.
So I got that quote from, or that term from when I worked in New York. Shout out to Bob Newcomb and my boys up in New York that worked. We did like Con Ed work in Orange, Rock County, whatever else. But we worked for a place, I can't even remember the fucking name of the contractor I worked for up there. But it was wild. So up there, everything's high pressure.
Yeah.
So, but they'll run.
They run tiny stuff.
Half inch.
Yeah.
High pressure, half inch plastic.
It's 90 pounds.
Like your fucking electrofusion couplers are like this big. Like they're so cute.
Those cute little ones.
Except if you
rip those, love doing the half inch staff. It's like a play doll.
And they'll fucking cut you in half because there's 120 pounds going through that. And up there, we had to run SCBAs for everything.
Yeah.
And leather gloves up to our forearms. We duct tape them. I remember the first live tap I did. They're big Gumstop boys up there. So we would cross over services, and they would take the tee off, and it's like through a half inch. So there's a difference between volume and pressure, but we'll save that for you guys.
When we get my dad on the phone,
episode 7, we'll talk about that. But I remember we pulled this tee off. I put my hand over it, and there was so much sand and shit because they're very big on sand. And
as you should be.
In like Saugerties in, I think it's Newcastle or I'm gonna mess it up, but it's outside of Saugerties. So they burned this entire city down in the Revolution. in the American Revolution. They burned the entire city down. This is no bullshit. As you dig down, because you have to have your certain depths for frost and stuff like that, you will go through a layer of ash that's like a foot deep. That's wild. No bullshit. So you get down through this layer, and it's like, that's when they, blah, blah, blah. We have to keep going where we put the pipe. And so when this line's blowing, all of that ash and shit starts blowing in the hole with it. So we have full SCBAs, full oxygen masks, full leather gloves, all this shit. And take this tee off, they put a rubber like ring inside of it, and they clamp it down. It's called a gum stop, and it expands in the hole and stops the gas from blowing until you can get the new pieces and put all the stuff in. And I didn't grasp. I've done high pressure shit before, what I thought was high pressure, and it wasn't. And they're like, "Yo, we got to have SCBAs and this," and I'm like, "Nah, bro. I'm good. I'm from PA, motherfucker. Like, what we do in the city? All this shit, lineal industries and, whatever. And so I fucking jumped in, and they're like, okay. I jumped in the hole, bro. I fucking had, like, sand in my fucking skin.
That's sandburn.
I had a jumpsuit on, like, an FR, like, coveralls, but I didn't tape anything, so it blew all up in, and it was like getting sandblasted. Like, I felt raw. My whole arm was raw the whole time, but I got it done. Like, at that point, I had gone past that point of no return.
Yeah, you can't be a bitch.
So I was like, fuck it. So we did it. We got it done. And this dude, his name was Tony. He goes, "Hey, that's some cowboy shit." So then when I got with these guys, I had in my head that none of these motherfuckers had seen what I seen. But the truth is that they are just as gangster, if not more, than I was. And their fear levels were completely different because it's just a different atmosphere. So when I seen Trav, the first time I seen Trav jump in a hole, my thing is like mud. I hate fucking mud. I hate being soaked. Like, Trav has no problem jumping into the water muddy and then walking around for the rest of the fucking day soaked. And I'm like, I seen him do this shit and I was like, that's some cowboy shit, bro. So those are it's just the way it works, man.
You got brought up again on Wednesday, actually. When it was like 4 degrees out, we did a job in Hopewell. And
I hate the cold.
I was like, dude, we're close to Las Palmas. Or not Las Palmas, Eggs R Us in Crafton.
Oh, yes. Shout out to Eggs R Us, too. We're putting all these restaurants on the map, dude.
Best chicken fried steak I've ever had.
Amazing.
Eggs Amazing. R Us in Crafton off of Poplar Street.
And it's a shithole. Like, it's a dive bar. I wouldn't say a shithole.
It's a dive bar. We still sit in the same spot we always sat where the heater just drips.
Yeah.
Just never stops dripping.
They have carpet, don't they? They still have carpet on the floor. Like, it's weird.
At a restaurant. But me and Bo were talking, it's like, this is where me, Ken, and Pickle worked that night on Poplar Street. But we were right next to the LS. We took that 2-inch stomp out.
Oh, my God.
And it started at 17 pounds. Bro. By the time we got everything cleaned, that LS was still feeding. It was up to like 40-something pounds blowing straight through there.
I remember that day.
And we got blasted. And we finally got it in. I think Pickle was like holding me by my feet.
It was bad.
Got it in and like bleeding everywhere. Mm-hmm. Dumb shit. And you looked at me like, y'all are some white ass cowboys.
Bro, it was crazy. I remember when Pickle when you got out of the hole. So truth be told, I didn't get in that hole on that job. I remember when you guys got out and you both looked up at me. Like, after it's done, you're both sitting there. Pickle's looking around for his cigarettes. I go to the truck, I grab you guys cigarettes, and you're sitting there on the side of the hole smoking cigarettes, faces all black, just like rocks, asphalt, shit embedded in your skin, fucking just sitting. Nobody said shit for like 15 minutes. You're just sitting there like, just smoking. I mean, all your faces were black, your hands were black, like raw skin. It was nuts, and I'm just like,
blasted me up good.
That's some cowboy ass shit. Like, that's some white people shit, bro.
Bro, we had that flagger. We didn't see him again. As soon as we took that stop out, he was gone.
Oh, yeah. Down the street.
We didn't see him again the rest of the night.
Yeah. It was scary, bro. But because we had no intentions on it being... Like, and that's the thing. Like, you're going off of maps.
Okay, it's 17 pounds. But didn't realize there's an LS 20 feet up the street.
Bro, that shit was fucking screaming. Like, there's a point in your mind, and I think about this often. Like I don't know if it's PTSD or what it is, but there was always, it seemed like... There was another one, too, we did by the car dealership. in
I just
Mount
used
Lebanon.
that wrench yesterday.
Bro, listen. So like you go on the map. This is all we have to go off of, right? There's a leak. We know there's a leak. We go on the map system. Now, a lot of these maps were from,
some were from the
80s, 70s, 60s. These dudes were drinking while they were doing this shit. Like, that's just the way it is. So, like, the pressures, the sizes, everything is relative.
Yeah.
To say the least. So, like, you think it's this, and it's like, yeah, it's only 12 pounds. And then you pop it off, it's like...
I guess they prorated it.
And shit's flying all over the place. There's a point where you realize nobody's coming to save us.
And the only thing...
We're the ones that are supposed to do this. And if you, like... I have a video on my phone of that one by the car dealership where you tried, then Chris Carr tried, and then you tried again and you got it, but the gripper ring had shot to the back of the hole. So as you're tightening it,
wouldn't come back
it's
up.
not working. And it's like, what the... And then I think Bird finds it in the back, and your beard is like... And I'm sitting there videotaping like, we're all gonna fucking die. Like, if we can't stop it, who are we calling? That's it.
It's funny you say it like that. When I first started with the gas company, because all I ever did was construction. So I just knew, put the pipe in the ground, test it, the gas man comes, ties it in. Didn't know anything about leaks or shit like that. So I'm not gonna name any names, but I was with this dude, older guy, kind of just limping his way through his career. Doing well at limping his way through.
Right. There's a lot of those, unfortunately.
Yeah, unfortunately. So me and him, we dig up this leak, like my third, fourth week as an operator. Dig up this leak. This pipe was like a 10-inch, like bastard size. Coupler was leaking, which is just a compression fitting that holds two pipes together with bolts and followers.
Yeah.
Just to grip it and hold it. Well, the whole thing was just gone.
Just corroded away.
Blowing everywhere. And this dude looks me dead in the eye and goes, well, I don't know who they're going to call to fix this. I said, they already made that call. We're here.
Hello?
He goes, we can't do this. We have to do it. We're here.
We're the last line of defense, dude. We are the last line of defense.
And, dude, I use that line to this day. Like, I don't know who they're going to call to fix this one.
And that's what's crazy if you think about it is in O&M, we were it. Yeah. We were it. We had to figure it out.
There was no we better call the gas company.
And that's why call it what you want, dude. I worked with you. I worked with Pickle. I worked with all these guys. I worked with Bo. But
we had some hitters.
You and Bogert, Bogert in the timeline that he had gotten into the gas company and how he was, he got his A position or his foreman position, and same with you. Because I know where you guys came from. You came from where I came from, right? We came from the contractor where we're putting in dead pipe. We're putting in new plastic pipe. We're installing shit. But we're not fixing problems. We're just installing new shit. So it's completely different. But the timeline that you guys had before me, I quickly realized that you had legitimately surpassed my ability in that field. Because I didn't have to. My problem solving was, how can I make this fit with these two crooked lineups?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It wasn't, this is life or death. It's a completely different atmosphere.
It was so much fun doing it. Especially the big ones, the bad ones. Mm-hmm. Those were the most fun. This is so bad we have to have two crews here. So there's 6 of us.
Yes.
And it's this is the worst thing ever. It's going to be so much fun because we're with all of our friends. Yeah. It's going to be scary.
The shared suffering.
Yeah, it's going to be scary the whole time. It's going to be, something's going to go wrong, but I know we're going to fix it. There was so many hitters on Steve's side. Yeah. It was me, you, Dan, Pickle, Bo, Chris Carr. Yeah. Bird was fucking slick on the sticks.
Bro. And Bird never got rattled. Dude, you would get worked up, angry. I would get fucking stressed out or pissed off.
It is what it is.
That's Bird.
Fix it now.
What if we try this? And you know what's fucked up is that if you ask any of us to imitate Bird, for some reason, we all talk like this. And it really doesn't talk that dramatic, but that's Bird's.
Crazy. Everyone has a different Bird, but everyone knows what your Bird is.
Yeah.
It's fucked up. We gotta fix it now.
That's Bird. But you know what?
Dude, that was the fucking heaviest hitting, like not the like
gangsters, bro.
Not the like
we were gangsters, bro. Tell it like it is.
Dude, it was a fucking I'd have put those 6 guys against anybody crew in the fucking company.
Yeah. You know JB's mad right now listening to this shit. Fuck him! It's like, but that's the truth, man. And
it was hitters.
You know what, though?
Nothing but.
What was beautiful about it was that we all had, with the exception of Kirkwood, but we all had...
I didn't list him if you didn't notice that. He was not mentioned.
We all had a mutual respect for one another. And we all brought different things to the table.
That's what I mean. Like, Chris Carr's like, Travi did one like this before. I can't get it. I know he's seen this shit. Or, like, I'd call Bo. Like, Bo is the best at rebuilding valves. I suck at it. I'm calling Bo. Like, I need him to help me pack this valve. Like, everybody had their thing that they were really fucking good at.
And there was no pride or, like...
Yeah, there was no ball. Like, we busted balls all fucking day.
For sure.
But there was never something like, I had to come help you fix that fucking leak because you're a fucking idiot.
Right.
It was like...
There was no pride in it.
We fucking killed it yesterday.
Yeah. No, and I think that was what was beautiful about it, was that we could bust balls, we could talk shit, we could fuck with each other. I mean, and we hurt feelings. Like, truth be told, people's feelings, I know my feelings got hurt.
The motto was always bring your hard hat and lunchbox, leave your fucking feelings in
Exactly. But when shit hit the fucking fan for real... There was no issues. There was no pride. There was no arrogance. There was no, hey, if he has a better idea, fuck it. We have to try, because we're all we got. There was nobody else that what were we going to call? JB or fucking, we weren't going to call anybody. We were going to figure this out, or we were going to die in this fucking hole. And in our heads, that's 100% the truth. That's not like an exaggeration.
And the only thing we were actually prideful about was how fucking good we were. And we knew it.
Yeah.
And everyone, like, it was 2 sides to the same fucking coin. Because we're like, dude, fucking cranked out 3 leaks today. And then we go back and like, why would you do that? We fixed 1.
Yeah.
We got paid the same as you. Like, fuck you, dude. I like working.
No, and that's a hard transition, too, especially going from a contractor like to the gas company.
The key to having a successful career that people like you at the gas company is to never lose the contractor mentality.
Right. Because you can get in, and there's a lot of, we know a lot of guys that they jumped over, they realized that it was, the rain clause. It was the
rain clause.
It all pays the same type of mentality. And those guys weren't getting shit done in the capacity that they could. And it wasn't that they were wrong necessarily, but like, we still always took pride in it. And if you look at the group that Steve had then, we all brought that pride with us.
And it was a good crew.
Do you think that Steve would admit that was the best setup that he's ever had?
Steve would.
Yeah. I has to be.
Well, there was a draft that went on. Before you came on, there was a draft. Because, like, there was 2 new supervisors came in. Buck got a supervisor. Steve came over from Hopewell. Or Sonny, one or the other. And they're like, all right, fuck it. These are the areas... These are the guys. We're not sticking them together like they were. Shake it up. There was a whole draft. Like, Bo and I got selected. Steve will never tell us what draft picks we were.
Right.
Or if it was or if it was a snake draft or what. We don't know. We'll never know the terminology.
Right.
Rumor has it Bo was first overall pick.
Okay.
Bo is an extremely intelligent gas man.
Bo is
to write his middle name out and spell it correctly. But that motherfucker...
He's a gun.
Is a gunner.
You know what? And he's not afraid to get fucking... Like, to have an A or a leader be dirtier than your laborers and your operators and everybody else at the end of the day, which all 3 of you were. And I think that's the biggest key to it, was that Trav wasn't afraid to kick a shovel. Trav didn't look at it like, motherfucker, I'm that fucking A. Like, you know how much I get paid, blah, blah, blah. Bo, the same way. Chris Carr, the same way. Like, none of you...
The only time we ever fought was who got the jackhammer.
Yeah.
You know how stupid that is?
Yeah.
I want to hold a 90-pound jackhammer for an hour.
And lose my... Like, I have 7% hearing loss in my fucking left ear.
Dude, we
from jackhammers.
The fucking thing every year, and it's just decreased.
It's bad. I have nerve damage in my fucking hands from fucking running hams. I mean, we would run... when you go down to the city, bro.
That's how you know it's a fucking good squad of guys. The only time we ever fought was who got to work harder.
Yeah, get off of it.
Dude,
my turn. Yeah, my turn. No, I got it.
That was such a fucking group.
I think the only part, like rapping pipe, there were some of us that were really, really good at rapping pipe.
I love rapping pipe.
And then there were some of us that weren't really good at rapping pipe.
I loved, and like a lot
like
of guys.
I'm saying from black rap to green to cast, who was the best? Who made it? Not best, prettiest. Who had the prettiest rap?
Pickle and Gert would go so they would cut rap off if they didn't think it looked good enough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
But then I started doing full pull, and I could get my green line looking like fucking.
The green line was where you know if you made it or not.
Yeah, I would get my green. I love doing full pull, just the whole roll. It's like a lot of guys would cut strips like 1.5 times the diameter.
24 inches,
just
yeah.
Wrap it over, do another strip. But I liked getting that nice deep hole, doing that whole roll, just the whole. You could get
just
it so
run a uniform, yeah.
But I think Gert and Pickle, they took a lot of pride.
Yeah.
Like Bird didn't give a fuck. The leak was stopped if it wasn't stopped.
Yeah. Put leak sync on it.
Fucking leak.
There ain't no bubbles. Let's go home.
Dude, like Bird had his moments. Like that dude cared about what he cared about, and what he didn't care about, he did not give a fuck about.
None. But he was damn good, bro.
He
and he
dude
looked out for you.
Greatest truck driver I've ever seen.
He looked out for you. He looked out for, and that's the thing. Everybody looked out for each other.
Yeah.
Like I think about it now when people ask me, do you miss it? Do you this? Knowing that you guys are all in other places and doing different things, it's something that. It was lightning in a bottle.
It was.
You will never have that group again.
Like it was like that. They were so good. There's 72 Dolphins. Like they were so good that one time. Like,
and they'll never be ever again. They weren't ever before, and they'll never be ever again. But for that little bit of time,
it was a brief moment of beauty.
It was amazing.
It was good. I can't talk enough about how fucking good that squad was.
But let's jump out of the gas company for a little bit.
All right.
You've been to, and we touched on it earlier, you don't like the crowds. You don't like the typical Times Square-esque fucking vacations. If I could
spend my whole life not entering New York, I'd be so fucking happy. Like the city.
So,
we went to...
The last 3 places you've been.
The last place I've been was the worst place I've ever been.
Really?
New Orleans.
Really? I want to go to New Orleans so bad.
Do you like the South Side?
So, listen, I heard there's 2 things. So, a good friend of mine, shout out to Shelly and Nick Hayden, she grew up in New Orleans. Yeah. And Nick met her when they went to LSU. And she loves New Orleans.
Go Tigers.
For the food and everything like that. My wife has been.
The food was amazing. I'm not gonna knock the food or the place we went.
Right. But I do hear like Bourbon Street and shit. It smells like piss. It's fucking disgusting.
Dude, do you know how bad it smells like fucking piss?
Tell me.
We stayed right in the French Quarter, like real fucking nice hotel.
Okay.
Like right on the water, the bayou or whatever. So we would
the bayou.
We would wake up every morning to the smell of piss and bleach, because they'd send 3. The street sweeper trucks.
Yeah.
One would come through and spray hot bleach all over the street and scrub.
So just make like chlorine gas.
The next one would come through and just aerate it some more. And then the third one would come through and spray boiling hot water.
Yeah.
And scrub it. And it was fucking... And we weren't even there like during Mardi Gras, dude. This was September. We went for her birthday. She's like, I always want to see New Orleans. Let's go.
Yeah.
Dinks, double income, no kids, shoot down.
Fucking right. Dinks, I like that. Hold on. Dinks.
That's a term.
Double income, no kids.
Yeah, dude.
I like that. I am not that.
we are as basketball team.
As bipolar from that as possible, but I do like that. So you guys go.
So we go. And dude, the first thing I come fucking strapped.
Did you fly or you drive?
We flew.
Okay.
I come strapped.
Of course.
Backspace. The day before we leave, I have fire school with my dad as the trainer for People's Natural Gas for all that shit.
Your dad's at the training center now?
Training center now, yeah.
Is Mark DeJean still down there?
Gone.
Really?
Retired, yeah.
Mark DeJean was one of my favorite trainers ever. Yeah, Beautiful fucking fake teeth, by the way. I still talk to him on Facebook. He's a great guy. Great guy. Shout out to Mark DeJong. Sorry.
So I was talking to my dad. I was like, yeah, we're leaving for New Orleans in the morning. He goes, you taking a pistol? I was like, yeah, I'm taking my
same convo as my dad and
my 380. I can put it in my pocket. It looks like a cell phone. Like,
yeah.
Hold 6 rounds. One in the chamber.
Hold some shit off. Yeah.
He goes, you better take something bigger than that. I said, let me shoot you in the chest with my 380. He goes, what do you mean? I was like, let me shoot you in the chest with my 380. Well, no, it'll kill me. I said, exactly.
We'll be good.
It's a 380. I'm gonna shoot. If I'm that
shot placement is everything, ladies and gentlemen. Shot placement it doesn't matter. Shot placement. If I shoot you in the head with a 22 or a 357, you're still dead.
Bro, I got fucking hustled. 10 minutes after getting to
know. No shit.
Dude, bad.
Like Hitch, not Hitch. Focus. Did you ever see Focus with Will Smith?
Not that bad. It was still like I knew it was happening. I couldn't fucking stop it.
Oh, tell me more.
So we're like, oh, New Orleans, this is great. We got a fucking margarita. We're walking around like, oh, let's go look at the bayou front, yada yada. So we're like walking. This fucking monster comes up to me. This fucking huge dude, and he's like, I bet you I can tell you where you got your shoes. I was like, no, dude, I'm good. He goes, just take a minute of your time. I can tell you where you got your shoes. Like, I'm wearing fucking Hey Dudes.
Okay.
The answer is pay less.
Right.
Any day of the week, it's pay less or whatever. So he's like, I was like, all right, dude, tell me where I got my shoes. He goes, hold on, and like gets down on his hands and knees and starts scrubbing my Hey Dudes, which are cloth. So now my feet are just fucking wet.
What the fuck?
I was like, dude, stop it. He's like, no. He's like, tells me this like elaborate joke that wasn't funny. I was like, okay. He goes, now I'm gonna tell you where you got your shoes. Like, go ahead. He's like, on your feet. I was like, that was a good man.
Dumb motherfucker.
So like, I pull out $5 because it was a funny joke. Like, the dude got me. He goes, no, dude, it's $20 for the shoe cleaning. I said, I didn't ask you for a fuck. And my pistol's like right on me.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to shoot a person over $5 or $20.
Right.
But I'm 5'6" on a good day wearing my Carolinas. And if I piss this guy off enough by not giving him $20, I will use that. She was like, dude, it's $20 for a shoe clean. It's like, all you did was get my feet wet, man. I was like, I'll give you $5 because I thought the joke was actually funny and get the fuck away from me. $5.
And he walked.
Got out of it with $5.
What the fuck?
And then the entire rest of the trip, I was just certain I was going to get stabbed by somebody.
Is that chaotic?
It's not even chaotic, dude. It's so dirty. Think of me.
I've heard that. You're not the first person to tell me.
5 days on Carson Street. Tell me if you like it.
No, I couldn't.
Dude, that's what it is.
We worked down there. I hated it.
I almost punched a Vietnamese woman in the face. By accident. Well, not by accident. I didn't know what was happening. We left a really good restaurant. I cannot remember what the name of it was. Got a great steak. But Bourbon Street was right there. I was like, oh, let's check Bourbon Street out. We were like a little tuned up. We had had a couple cocktails. Walking on Bourbon Street, all of a sudden I just feel this thing touch my throat, and I turned around and coughed back, and there's like this 80-pound Vietnamese woman staring at me. I was like, "What?" She threw beads over my neck and my wife's neck. I was like, "What the fuck is your deal?" She was like, "You need beads on Bourbon Street." I was like, "Get away from me!" So I start walking. She goes, "It's $10 for the beads," and I snapped them off Ashley's neck, snapped them off my neck, and just left them in the street.
Oh shit!
And we made a right, and we never went back to Bourbon Street. We were on Bourbon Street for 14 seconds.
So it's a whole bunch of fucking...
Dude, it's degenerates.
Hustlers.
It's hustlers, drug addicts, and drunk people.
Really?
It's the worst. It's like the axis of evil for partying.
How about... Did you have any beignets while you were down there?
Dude. Let me tell you, man. They're not what they're cracked up to be.
Stop. Don't do that, Trav.
I don't want to hurt you, dude. We went to Cafe Du Monde.
The Cafe Du Monde.
We went to the Cafe Du Monde.
So, have you ever watched the movie Chef?
Yeah, love that movie.
It's like one of my favorite movies.
And that's why we went there. We got there fucking early, too. We were there 5:30 in the morning. Sun just came up. We got the first batch of beignets. It looked like Scarface just took a pastry on his desk of Coke.
And just fucking...
Dude, it was powdered sugar and a crumb cake. They're not. I'll make you something better than that.
Really?
If you want a pastry, I'll make you something way better than a fucking beignet.
Man, that really hurts me.
It's fried dough.
So
they make a big deal out of it, and their marketing is great.
So what was your favorite thing about New Orleans?
We went to this bar called Bar Marilou.
Okay.
And it was like a speakeasy off the beaten track.
In the comments, let me know if any of you have been to
Bar Marilou.
Bar Marilou.
It was... And there was some voodoo shit going on. I swear to God, I saw something.
Oh, it has to be.
Someone walked out of a wall. right there. Just walked out of that wall. She was, it's a bookcase. Like, no, it's not. It's she walked out of it. Like, it was like a secret bookcase where it opened. She was like, appeared.
No shit.
Dude, we got the greatest drinks I've ever had in my whole fucking life. Like these mint strawberry.
Like feminine drinks?
Dude, like, you remember that dude you used to watch that had like the cool orange suits, the fresh haircuts? He'd go to those clubs and order those cool drinks, those cool cigars.
Yeah.
They were drinks that guy would order.
Okay.
Like that dude we were infatuated with for like a month.
The club.
I can't remember what the hell that guy's name was.
I know exactly what you're saying. I don't.
Like, he had the freshest suits, like the coolest haircuts, and he ordered like this.
It's where you wanted to be,
dude. It was, and like we drove like fucking $300 there.
No shit. So is it a lot? Is it very expensive to hang out down there?
It wasn't bad. Like I love a plan, but I hate scheduling.
Yeah.
Ashley,
I know exactly what you mean by that too.
Ashley is a fucking plan. Whenever we go to Spain, when the itinerary is done, I'll send it to you, because it's a half hour by half hour itinerary of where we're gonna be.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It's
you need to do that in certain things for sure. Robin's similar,
but it'll be like, okay, we really like it here. We're gonna stay here. Fuck the next thing.
Okay, yeah. So you have It's not like this. It's like, here's our baseline.
We want to do,
but we can still be flexible.
Dude, she'll pack 2 weeks worth of shit into 1 week, and you can do it.
Yeah,
she does a very good job of seeing everything, and like, it's a great trip.
Okay.
I have tried several times to just like quit your job. I'll buy you a MacBook Pro, and you be a travel agent, because she's so fucking good at it.
That's cool. But
like,
I feel like you need that too.
She researches like the New Orleans trip. She researched that, and like, this is cheaper, but this is better. But what do you want to do?
Shout out to Ashley, by the way.
Shout out to Ashley, double E. ASHLE.
I remember when you guys started dating.
Yeah.
I remember. So is it okay to say how you guys met? Are you okay with that?
We met on Bumble.
On Bumble. Right? And at that time, it was very new. It was extremely new. We were working together, and you're like, yo, I met this girl on this fucking app. And I'm like, you're a fucking idiot. I remember... I don't remember the job that we were on, but I remember the street.
I remember it. It was over Troy Hills.
It was the Steve Bass Hill, right? And we were hooking up a trailer, yes. And I was like, dude, this is bad. And Bird's like, if you like her, you like her. Like, it was a whole thing. And we fucking went back and forth with it. And here we are now.
Married.
We're both married. We got married fucking a couple days, literally 3 days apart from each other. And, so there you go, guys. If Bumble, there's a chance. Like, there is a chance.
I went out on a date with her. I lived with my buddy lived with me at the time, Zach Sheridan. Zach Sheridan, one of my best friends since we were.
Is that one of the twins?
It's one of the twins.
Yeah.
He lived with me at the time.
Shout out to the twins.
I came home, and he goes, "How was it?" I said, "I'm gonna marry her."
No
and fuck if we did.
Shit.
That was the first thing I said to him.
That's beautiful, man.
I'm gonna marry her.
That's beautiful. I remember, because there was like a lot of things that were like that you had to grow through. Like,
she's 7 years older than me.
Yeah.
So there was like a lot of things.
So my wife is 5 years older than me. Yeah. So we're very similar.
But you guys both had families when you met.
We had kids, yeah.
So like there was a lot of things that me and her, like, she wanted and she had to have it immediately.
Yeah.
And I was still a kid.
Yeah.
So like we worked through that.
We're both still kids, by the way.
Yeah, no doubt.
So,
but like we worked through that. Like, okay, it's either gonna work like this or it's not. Like, I can't do this right now. Yada yada yada. And it all worked. It all worked for the best. Never been happier.
Yeah, I mean, it's a beautiful story. I remember the stories as far so we go back as far as, bro, she has ghosts in her apartment,
dude.
You know what I mean? Like, that's what I remember. Like, the first time you spent the night over there, and you're like, there's fucking ghosts. And I personally,
I have a ghost in my house. I see from time to time, but it's a friendly one.
Oh, okay.
Like, I just see her like walking past. But like she had some vengeful fucking spirits.
Some gangster ass ghost, dude. Bro. Like, what was it? Like a rocking chair was constantly
she did the dumbest thing you could ever do in a haunted house. She had a library in it.
I don't do fucking haunted houses, bro.
She lived in a fucking haunted house that she knew was fucking haunted the day she moved in there. And it had a library room. like a little like corner room that was the library. Just bookshelves.
Why are libraries always haunted?
Well, dude, you know the dumbest thing you could do in a haunted fucking library is put a child's rocking chair in it.
With no children, you don't even have kids.
She was a nanny.
Oh,
so
yeah.
like they were.
That's right. She was a nanny.
There was reasoning for like all like the shit, but still, don't do it. So we were dating for maybe like 2 months. I woke up at like 2 a.m. I had to piss so bad.
Oh no.
We shut all the lights off because she had to pay the electric bills. Like before we went to bed at night, shut all the lights off, shut the doors. Wake up at 2 a.m. Got to take a piss. That library was in the hallway to get to her bathroom.
Okay.
Open the door of her bedroom. Door's wide open in the library with the fucking light on. And that rocking chair's just sitting there going.
And you're sure that the light was off before?
Positive.
100%.
Because I'm my dad's son, dude.
Right,
I shut lights off.
Yeah. We're not paying for this.
Dude, I shut fucking lights off like a son of a bitch.
If you knew his dad, you'd know. And my dad's no different. Like I remember that. Like, what? If you're not in there, why are we paying to keep that on?
I have a marathon runner strictly because I walk through my house 80 times a day and just shut fucking light switches off. But I know I had that light off and I know I had that door closed because that room creeped me the fuck out. So I didn't want anything coming out of there.
Right.
Not that a door could stop whatever the fuck it is.
Right. Just like sheets can.
Yes. So I opened the door. And I look to my left, and that fucking door is wide open with the light on. I was like, God damn it. And I like take a step, and there's that rocking chair just going.
Fuck that.
So I was like, not dealing with this. Reach in, shut the light off, shut the door, walk into the bathroom.
She didn't even look in. Like, you didn't like.
No, I saw the rocking chair.
Like typical white person, no offense, is like, is anybody in here?
I did.
Ashley?
I was poltergeist. Like, I was that fucking dumbass family. Like, oh, well, I guess they're going to split rent with us. So I see it. I reach in, shut the light off, shut the door, go in, take a piss, dick in hand. I'm standing there pissing. I hear, I pissed everywhere. She had one of those fucking Febreze things.
Oh.
I pissed all over the seat. Everywhere. Like, she had the little fucking cleaner.
The auto misters.
I pissed on everything.
Yeah, fuck it.
So, I was like, fucking Febreze. Get done pissing. The rest in the toilet. Flush. I was like, she can clean that tomorrow. I walk back out to go to the bedroom. Doors wide open again. Lights back on. That fucking rocking chair.
No,
was just,
fuck that, bro.
I just ran past it, went in her room, and just went under the covers. Like, she was what's. I was like, I'm never coming. And I never went back there again. She moved in with me.
I was gonna say, you had her pretty much move in, like leave this place.
That was it.
Yeah.
I was like, if you want to keep hanging out with me, it's gonna be at my house, because I'm not fucking coming down there again.
So where was this house?
Denora.
In Denora,
First Street,
PA.
Denora.
So there you guys go. Any of you ghost hunters wanna check it out? Was it an apartment or was it a house? It was a house.
Yeah.
Fuck
nice house. Nice build.
Okay, so I don't want to keep you all day. I know you got dinner plans and stuff like that. But there is another constant memory that comes up that I feel we would not do this podcast justice if I did not bring this up, right? So, as I said before, we worked together for years. We were literally together every single day. We got to see crazy shit. From everything, and we lived in the city. We pretty much lived in the city. Now both of us lived outside of the city, but every day we were in the city, right? Yeah. So the things that we got to see, the things we got to experience were absolutely amazing. And a lot of our listeners are going to be, wanting to figure out things in Pittsburgh, and I think that's a huge part of our of this podcast is talking about the city of Pittsburgh and how amazing it is, how it's starting to really develop into something amazing. They're talking about, in real estate world, it's one of the best cities to live in, is what they're saying. It's on the way up.
It's a great place.
As far as the cultural side of it, it's consistently growing. It's not as, melting pot as New York City or Miami or anything like that, but it is growing.
You have your zones, like they're bigger zones with like a smaller demographic of cultures.
For sure. And so I used to look at that when I worked in the city in New York, for instance, I kind of held a bias when I came to the gas company when we worked in Pittsburgh. I held a biased, like, negative image of it because it wasn't as melting pot or eclectic as, you know, some of the other places I've been or I've worked in. But I'm seeing it grow, and I think that's even more beautiful to, like, watch it evolve into something more, where there's more Hispanic restaurants than there's ever been in the city. There's all these different things, but you still have little pockets of pure tradition, right? Pure Polish community.
You have your Bloomfield, Polish Hill,
the Italian side
Squirrel
of it,
Hill.
Exactly, where you have these things that are almost uninterrupted by time, which is now looking at it as something beautiful in its sense. When we worked in the north side, even the war streets and stuff like that.
Dude, the architecture down there.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. The things that we got to see, and we did this literally every single day. We just got to tour the city, and when we came very comfortable with the areas, the locations, and I think it wasn't the mainstream shit, which I think is beautiful. It was the mom and pops, like, hey, this guy's, you know, an 80-year-old Italian guy who's been doing this shit for the last 50 years, and you're not going to see it on a billboard or in a commercial.
The guy that makes those crab cakes, the Hergy Balls. He was a 70-year-old Italian dude in Bloomfield that just made crab cakes in his basement.
And he fucking it was
and
an
no
art.
one knows about him.
It was a craft, right?
No one fucking knows.
But he's a legend unless you're around there, right? So, like, if I could say anything to any of our listeners, it's like, explore the city of Pittsburgh. Like, literally go through, get lost, find something. It's not as dangerous as people make it out. Now, I wouldn't say get lost at like 2 a.m. on the fucking south side. But there are so many little things that you'll never, little diamonds that you'll never find unless you go wander. And we were blessed enough with our job and with our career to be able to have to wander. We have to go on that side street and find this little mom and pop's fucking, this lady making fucking chips.
Ice string and crafting. Like, oh, how good is this?
Right. It was amazing. There were so many different little things that was absolutely beautiful about Pittsburgh. And then there was crazy things, right? So a couple of the things that I want to hit on before we go. First off was the festivals, right? So every year we would make sure that we scheduled our jobs around, for instance, the barbecue fest. The pickle fest, which I fucking hate pickles, and everybody that knows me knows, but it was amazing what they did with shit.
I
right?
like pickles, but I don't think you need to have a festival about them.
No, I don't think so either. So my question is to you, I'm going to go through a couple genres of food, a couple different types or styles, and I want you to say what you think your favorite situation would be.
Go ahead.
So, barbecue, right? As far as barbecue, and we're not Texas, we're not fucking down south, but there is very good barbecue in the city. And so for you, where was the best barbecue place you've ever been?
Badass was the place to go.
Badass fucking barbecue.
Right behind Pages.
Shout out to...
It was the most conveniently located barbecue place. It's right on Beck's Run Road in Carson.
We're going to put that in the description as well.
Badass barbecue. Directly behind
with two Z's, right? Badass with two Z's.
Yeah, directly behind Pages. So you slam a brisket boat.
What's Pages? Tell the people.
Pages is, I think, the second oldest ice cream place in the Pittsburgh area. First is Claiborne's in downtown.
That's right.
Which is that old school one. But Pages is just a nice little spot that has...
Dude, their ice cream is so
Ice cream hits. They have so many different flavors. All those sundaes, the brownie blast, the brookie
and that's
sundae.
What? That's Carson Street and Beck's Run? Yeah, right on the corner of Carson and Beck's Run. So if you're in the south side, just keep going.
That'd be South Carson, yeah.
Keep going down.
Or East Carson.
Yeah. And then it'll be on your right before you get to Beck's Run. It's right on the corner there. It's like under the bridge, pretty much.
They're only open from like May to September. But like the best.
Their ice cream is amazing.
So fucking
amazing.
And dude, their food was good too.
Their burgers were good. Their smash burgers were delicious.
That good like fair style smash burger.
Yeah.
So good. But
so Pages,
badass.
If you guys haven't been to Pages, check Pages out. And then literally in walking distance, so right behind, technically behind.
Park at Pages, walk to Badass.
Is Badass Barbecue. The pulled pork boats was one of my favorites. Dude. So it was pulled pork with mac and cheese and extra barbecue sauce just in this bowl of fucking amazing.
Just like the greatest Kansas City style barbecue sauce.
So you know that we have here. So in my house, we do a 4th of July rib contest every single year.
Yes.
You haven't made it to one. That's okay. I haven't made it to your stuff, so we got to work on that. But we do a rib contest every 4th of July weekend. Depending on when
this year we'll be in Spain.
Oh, you will be. You'll be in Spain for that. Okay. Well, maybe next year. But this year. But anyway, so the first year that I won, I went to Badass and got the sauce. Yeah, I got the sauce.
That's what won it for you. That's cheating, dude.
It's so fucking good. You can put that
shit on white dog shit and not eat it.
It would be amazing.
It would.
Their barbecue sauce is absolutely outstanding.
What's her last name? Stacy.
I can't remember her last name.
Great person. Her and her dad run it.
Yeah. Shout out to Badass. Shout out to Stacy if you're watching this or when you watch this. All of you guys, anywhere in this vicinity, you need to check out Badass Barbecue. They do it. It's old school. They got the big old fucking smokers out there. It's not
the coal rollers.
I mean, it is amazing, and they do very well in the rib contest every year.
Dude, they won it several times.
And that, I mean, there's cats from Georgia, Atlanta,
Kansas City, Texas, and they're smoking them.
Mm-hmm. And it's not. I genuinely don't believe it's
no pun intended,
home field advantage. They're smoking them. Okay, so all right, so Mexican food. We're gonna go with Las Palmas.
Obviously.
So listen, we keep it real, right? The whole name of this podcast is Keep It Real.
Dude, if you're gonna say something's gonna hurt me,
it's not gonna hurt you.
Okay.
But it's gonna hurt potentially somebody's business, and I don't give a fuck because we keep it real.
Because we keep it real.
We went to a Mexican place as a group.
Oh, I got so sick.
And we all got sick.
Dude, I had to pull over.
We all threw up. I threw up. You threw up. I got a shrimp enchilada. I can't remember what you got.
I think I got like the house enchilada. It was like steak shrimp.
The whole floor was wet. Like they just mopped, and it smelled like old mop water when we got in.
It was an old Chinese restaurant. They just painted sombreros on the pandas, remember?
Yes, 100%.
Pandas painted on the wall. They just painted sombreros.
What? Do you remember the name of that place?
No, it was right by First Watch.
It was fuck, I cannot remember the name.
Loved it though.
He swore by it.
He
swore by it.
All credibility for food pics.
And we ate that place, and it was absolutely dog shit. Like it wasn't enjoyable when we ate it. The pricing was okay.
Used card lot on the way to the Birmingham Bridge.
We yacked, bro. Like it was bad. Like we ate, and like within 15 minutes, I remember looking over at you in the driver's seat, and there was just sweat pooling. You're like, I don't know. This is it. And I'm like, bro, I feel the same way. And we all threw up. I think Pickle threw up as well.
Chris Carr handled it well. I was like, I love that.
He's like, this is so good. I feel like he said that they catered his wedding or something.
No, because he had his wedding at.
He's bougie.
Yeah, because
we're the Lamont or something like that.
Monterey Bay. That's where we're going tomorrow night.
Are you?
Dude, we're fucking going vegan. We gotta just crank through these.
Get through it. Okay.
These gift cards. Ruth's Chris tonight. Never been.
Ruth Chris is very good.
I'm excited for it.
It's very good.
Actually, they're very lucky that we can't remember what the fuck they were called. They're probably out of business. I mean, if that many people get food poisoning,
it was bad. It was bad. So Mexican though, we're gonna go Las Palmas. Las Palmas and Brookline. So there was a couple other locations.
Right on Brookline Boulevard. They had one in Oakland that would like just pop up on Atwood.
Yeah. They also have a pop-up at Kennywood. They had a pop-up at Kennywood for a while. I don't know if they still do. It's been a while since I've been to Kennywood.
That one in Oakland's like pretty consistent. That was right next to Jim and Andy's.
Jim and Andy's.
Place. Remember we got the rum raisin ice cream?
We did go there. Their cones were amazing there.
They were good.
Okay, how about Italian? Where do you feel?
Did we eat any Italian together?
So I don't think we did.
That's a heavy meal.
That's a big meal. We're kind of on the go, guys. We got to go and stop in. Now we did do some eating in Oakland. I remember. I think we got pho or something in Oakland. We got noodles and stuff. It was really good.
We got noodles and co in Oakland. We did a lot of shit in Oakland.
We ate a lot of garbage, dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like ice cream was like our thing. Like where could we get the best ice cream?
I'm glad that you liked ice cream.
I love ice cream, but we were miserable. We would have to, if we got ice cream, it would be on the way to the shop so I could get in my car and go home because I'm lactose intolerant. But I would put myself through it.
It's getting worse as the years go on.
Page's probably the best ice cream in the city.
Dude, man, ice cream in Pittsburgh fucking hits. You have Page's. For variety, you have Page's.
Page's is...
If you like a good sundae or a mix, like a blizzard, it's Page's.
Dude, they had the French toast Like the French toast.
That Blizzard or Arctic Swirl, whatever the
hell. Fuck, that was so good.
Cinnamon Toast Crunch in a Blizzard.
The Cinnamon Toast, that's what it was, yeah.
But then, think about the ice cream we would eat. So we had Pages.
Yeah.
We had Scoops.
Scoops was clutch every time.
And then there was Jim and Andy's.
Fuck, yeah.
Dude, they were all good.
They were amazing.
I can't pick one.
They're amazing.
If you asked me to pick one, I couldn't. Scoops would change their flavors up a lot.
Yeah, but you could you had so much leeway at Scoops too.
Yeah,
like if you wanted to throw some marshmallows in that bitch, you could throw some marshmallows.
Scoops would hook you up because they loved us too because we were there consistently
all the time. I remember the people that were working there. Like they'd be like, "Hey, welcome back." Like it was
that skinny blonde chick that like loved us.
Hold on. Pause. I cannot. So I have one other thing that I want to talk about before we go, but I cannot ignore. Okay, tell them the story. So we went to Scoops in Mount Lebanon.
Yeah.
And in Mount Lebanon, if any of you guys are from Mount Lebanon, cool, go fuck yourself. If you're not,
have fun driving your fucking Cadillac.
It is the bougiest fucking place in the city.
For no reason.
It's bougier than Upper St. Clair. Shout out to Long Fam. But it is fucking different.
Yeah, fuck Bethel Park.
Fuck Bethel Park. So at that time, you could, like the kids, so it was like elementary school, middle school. Hold on. So elementary, middle school, they would get let out from lunch, right? So like lunch, you could have lunch at school, or you could walk around. And if somebody's from around there, let me know if I'm mistaken. But when we went there, it was that time. It was lunchtime.
It's a low crime rate. Right?
And yeah, they let these kids get out of school. And I'm saying they couldn't have been older than 5th grade.
Dude, that kid was maybe 10.
They walk around and get lunch at these places. So there's Scoops in Mount Lebanon, which is an ice cream place.
That whole little corridor was just restaurants.
There's like pizza shop. There's I can't remember the name.
Pizza too.
Right, yeah. There was all these different little spots. It was like a strip of tiny little restaurants.
It was like 10 restaurants.
What is that street? Do you know that street?
Dude, I couldn't tell you. Osage.
Okay, so correct us in the comments if we're wrong, but I think that's right.
I think it's Osage.
So we go to Scoops. We're out working at a job out there. We go to Scoops, and this little kid comes in. Me and Trav are just sitting there, grown-ass men. And I feel like it was around our beard, like no shave time. Like we both had big old burly beards. It was winter time. And we're sitting in there eating our ice cream like responsible fucking men. And this kid comes in. Tell him the story,
The dude was a heathen. As a 10-year-old,
he's a fucking evil son of a bitch.
If you could be a 10-year-old heathen, that was what this motherfucker was. So we're sitting there eating our ice cream, and this little kid comes up.
Maximum 10 years of age.
Maybe 10.
Mind you.
So, like, they sold ice cream, and the dude made, like, pizza there.
Like, like simple pepperoni cheese pizza.
Just on, like, under the heat lamp, ready to go, like, $2 a slice. Mm-hmm. Great deal, great pizza. So this little kid walks in, and he goes, I want pizza, but I don't have any money. So, like, you know, we're not fucking terrible people.
No.
We're not the best by any means. So, like, hits a quarter.
Trav hears this out the corner of his ear and is like, hey, bud, go ahead.
I'll buy you a slice of pizza. But you saved my ass. You saved me from getting hustled.
Yeah.
That was the first time I ever almost got hustled.
Yeah.
And I walk up and the kid like he drops something out of his pocket and stepped on it.
Yeah. Covers it with his foot instantly. He's standing up, we're sitting down. It's a very small place.
And you said, hey, what'd you step? He's like, I don't have any money. And you said, what'd you just step on? And he goes, nothing. And you go, move your foot. Yep. And he moves his foot, and it's a $10 bill.
Cash.
And he goes, I can't use this. This is my dad's money. He'll get mad if I spend it.
Yes, he'll get mad. And bro, this kid's face, like zoom in on me. His kid's face was like, my dad will get mad if I use this. Like that. Like it was a moment.
And as a dude that grew up with like a dad that was like, I could see how that would happen.
100%.
Like my dad had $10, I took it and I had a change of heart. Even though he'd never miss it, like, I'm not going to spend it.
Right, because I don't want my ass whooped.
Yeah. So, and then the dude goes, you're not getting, you said, the dude that is running the Scoops, shout out to him because he saved me from losing $10. He goes, you either buy pizza with your money or you get the hell out of my store.
And we thought that was like,
what the fuck?
Yeah, dude? Like, what an asshole, bro.
So the little kid just puts his head down, sulks out the store.
Yep.
And we're like, what the hell, man? Like, I'd have bought it. Like, it's only $6 for 2 slices of pizza and a pop. Like, what the hell?
Right.
Like, I don't give a shit. And the guy's like, dude, that kid comes in here every day and does that same shtick. The only reason you didn't. He's like, I wouldn't have let you buy it even if your buddy didn't see him drop the $10 bill because he does it every day.
It's a hustle, bro. It's a fucking hustle.
These Mount Lebanon Mercedes driving motherfuckers have never seen a scam before. And they don't know any better.
They'll feed him every day.
They buy him pizza every day. Use it some excuse every day. If I don't come home with 3 slices of pizza, my dad's going to be really mad at me.
Yeah, that's what it was. Like yep. It was fucking crazy. And we're sitting there like, my ice cream is melted at this time because I'm going through so many fucking emotional things. Like, yo, bro, I've been poor my whole life. Like, I'm not letting this little motherfucker not have lunch, right? Like, no kid left behind shit. Like, and this owner was being a fucking dickhead to this little kid.
So we thought.
And then the truth comes out, and I'm like, hold up. So we fucking eat our ice cream. We're like, let's go find this stupid little motherfucker.
We drove around.
Go throw him in some fucking snow. Like, it was crazy.
No one's going to believe him.
It was crazy. So this little kid would come out of school, and if you're watching this, fuck you.
That kid's an adult now, by the way.
Yeah, he's a grown-ass man by this time.
At least 16, 18.
Driving a fucking better car than we have.
No doubt that he fucking scams some fucking old lady for.
Right, he's probably selling like THC vapes on the south side or some shit.
No doubt.
But he literally, I mean, bro, he had it down to like...
He washed my shoes in New Orleans.
Like the... like the fucking, like, I always think of the Newsies. When I watched the Newsies as a little kid, shout out to the Newsies. It's a musical, but you should watch it. You might like it. But he's like, buy me last pape. And he's trying to sell papers to he's a newsie. And this kid had it down to a fucking T. Like, I'm sitting there like, fuck this, bro. I'm letting this motherfucker. Yeah, like we were ready to fucking give this kid the best day of his fucking life. And the owner's like, nah, bro. He does this shit every fucking day. So I had to bring that story up.
I forgot all about that little bastard.
Dude, fucking crazy, right?
He's either dead or a millionaire right now.
One or the other. It's literally bipolar opposites.
That kid has no...
He's watching this. Like, I know he's going to watch this. Like, it was incredible. His game was... If he didn't drop that fucking $10 bill out of his pocket, I would have fucking... We would have got him everything.
The guy that owned it said he wouldn't have let me buy it from him anyway. So.
Because he knew. It was his hustle. He's like, these motherfuckers are different. I probably would have
argued with the motherfuckers. Like, I'm not going to not buy this kid fucking 2 slices of pizza in a fucking pot. Like,
meanwhile, this motherfucker got more money on him than we do.
He lives in Mount Lebanon. His parents aren't poor.
Yeah. It's crazy. It was such a crazy time. So that's the first story. The second story, and we can kind of fade out on this one, is feeding time.
Oh my god.
Feeding time, and I feel like none of our listeners would believe feeding time unless I had a witness with me, because I've told this story. You have the video of it. I do have the video. I don't know if I can. I'll have to see if I can tie the video in. You can't see the guy, but you can see the whole scenario.
That guy's dead now.
He has to be, dude, right? He has to be. Maybe he changed his life though, bro. Maybe he's out fucking on some David Goggins shit. Like, who's gonna carry the boats? He might be fucking.
He ain't David
65
Goggins.
pounds right now. Fucking.
No, that dude's dead.
He was the biggest man I've ever seen in my life.
And I only saw half of him.
Listen.
Keep that in mind. We only saw half of him.
If you've ever watched Star Wars, if you've ever seen, like, OG Star Wars, the original trilogy, there's a character by the name of Jabba the Hutt. Google image.
Jabba the Hutt had more sex appeal.
Jabba the Hutt. And this is what this gentleman looked like. So we would get done with our jobs. And depending on the time that we could show back up at the shop, and our shop was in Wilkinsburg, we would park on a side street. And, if something else would come in, you never
knew what traffic was going to be. You had to get there a little early.
Right, because if you get on the wrong, and you guys know, if you get on the wrong side of the city by a certain time, it might take you 20 minutes during the day or in the early afternoon. If that same trip from Robinson to Wilkinsburg, if you get it at the wrong time, it might take you an hour and a half, 2 hours, right? So we had to time our days out as best we could.
Real quick, do you remember during like the lockdown of the pandemic when we made it from the Squirrel Hill tunnels back to Bridgeville in 15 minutes?
So I talked to my buddy about this probably about 2 months ago. And we were talking about the city traffic and stuff like that. And he's like, you used to work in the city. And I was like, yeah, dude, I worked in the city only for years. And when COVID happened, so I've always been blessed. And this is true shit. I've always been blessed. Somehow I've always been able to find my way through shit. Before COVID, I worked at the gas company. And then in COVID, at the beginning, I worked at the gas company. Well, we're essential. We didn't stop working at all, ever. If anything, we got excited because we got to buy cool masks, like gaiters and shit to wear.
Look at my American flag one.
Right, but we always had work. We never got laid off. We never had remote. Like, it was never an issue. We made a lot of money through COVID.
Yeah.
And then in the mortgage industry,
we were very fortunate in that.
The same thing. So the mortgage industry, the rates skyrocketed because people weren't home. So when I transitioned into COVID in the mortgage world, I was blessed with refinances and everything else because rates went down, crazy low. So shout out to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, because I always was blessed through COVID, and I know there's a lot of people that lost their whole ass in COVID. Yeah. So with that being said, we were working before COVID together, and traffic was fucking horrible. We'd get to the shop at 6:30, 7 o'clock in the morning. We'd have to go to the other side of Pittsburgh. We'd hit traffic. We knew all these different side roads and stuff, and it'd help us a little bit, but it wasn't great. And then when COVID hit, bro, it was like
Fast and Furious.
It was like I Am Legend. Like,
yeah, dude.
It was deserted. So we could get from one side of the city in 10 minutes what would have taken us 45 to an hour.
That job, it was in the backside of Carnegie, like almost Bridgeville, and I'll never forget, it was a dead-end cul-de-sac. We changed out a stop for a lady, and we were at the Squirrel Hill tunnels, and you said, "I don't think I shut the stop off." Yeah. And we banged a Yui on the parkway because there was no traffic.
Nothing.
Where PennDOT sits, we just hit a Yui right there, and we were 15 minutes. Didn't see a car.
Not a soul.
It was insane.
It was eerie, almost.
It was creepy.
Because this is the height of COVID. This isn't like...
This was the lockdown stage. There wasn't a restaurant.
There was nothing open. There was no restaurants.
You could go get gas, but you couldn't go and get a Red Bull.
Right. It was ground zero.
There was no toilet paper.
Yeah, it was ground zero COVID, downtown Pittsburgh. And we could do whatever we wanted, whenever we wanted.
Except go eat.
Except find somewhere to eat. Like, it was wild. It was wild time. And then you remember when we were leaving, so we had a job, I can't remember where, but we ended up hitting our secret spot on the south side, right? Yes. Under the bridge.
Harhai Bridge.
And when we were coming back across, we were going across, I think, Hot Metal. Before we went across Hot Metal, there was those dudes. There was one dude in a full, like, chem suit. Yeah. And there was another dude in the, like, what the doctors... The doctors wore that, like, raven, like, with the beak. And they had signs. I can't remember. I probably have a picture of it. But that was, like, the most interaction we saw was, like, these creep weirdos in this pandemic. Like, it was the Black Plague. It was nuts, dude.
It was wild.
It was a wild time to be alive.
Glad we made it through.
We did make it through. We didn't have no issues.
But feeding time.
So backtrack, right. So anyway, so we would have to time our days when we get done, and if we got done in immediate, a decent time, it was a little bit too early, we would just head back towards Wilkinsburg, towards our shop. And then we would hang off
Susquehanna Street.
On Susquehanna, right before our shop, which is right off of Penn Ave. And we would hang out there for about 15-20 minutes until we could, park our stuff and be done for the day. We would park there, and there was like a row. There would be like 4 or 5 trucks. Like, our crews and everyone knew where we hang out until we ended the day. And the situation happened, and Trav had brought me up to speed on this situation, and he coined it feeding time. And I said, Trav, that's fucking bullshit. So the way he explained it to me was there was this morbidly obese gentleman who lived in this townhouse
on the top floor.
So it was the second floor apartment, and he was so large that he was not physically able to walk down the steps to get anything accomplished. So he was pretty much...
He was wider than any door in that house.
Locked away in this house. And I said, Trav, that's a fucking bullshit lie. There's no such thing. Blah, blah, blah. And he said,
There's no such thing as fat people.
But it was like, it was exaggerative. Like, it was like something that you wouldn't necessarily believe. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that. Like, that's not a thing. And he said, bro, I've watched this happen. This lady, like DoorDash or Instacart or whatever it is, would bring food to this large man. And because he couldn't come down, he would lower a basket out of the second floor window with a rope. And I can't make this shit up. It sounds made up.
Dude,
he would lower it down.
A whole family size bucket of KFC.
And she would fucking load up this basket with the food that he bought. So he would lower it down with the money. She would take the money, and then she would load it up with food, and he would pull the basket back up, and he would sit up there and eat. And
there were no healthy greens in that basket ever.
Like very much like a Rapunzel-esque story. And I'm like go fuck yourself.
Obese Rapunzel.
So I didn't believe it. Whatever. And this went on for weeks. And one day, and I have this on video on my phone. If you ever see me out,
you'll have to clip it in.
I'll try and clip it in. I'll see if we can add it to this. But this lady brought, and it was plastic bags from KFC, not paper bags. Like, I'm saying enough shit that, like, hey.
It was a family meal. It was
right.
Family
Me and the kids want to go to the park. We're going to stop at KFC, and we're going to get a whole bunch of shit, like mashed potatoes and biscuits and a 20-piece, and we're going to take it to the park and have a picnic. It was that much. It was 2 handfuls of fucking bags.
It was bad.
And I'm sitting there in the passenger seat, Trav, and I'm probably either asleep or playing on my phone, and Trav goes, it's feeding time, it's feeding time, it's feeding time. And I said, what the fuck? And I see this lady get out of her car, 2 handfuls. I mean, what would be like groceries?
If you and 2 other people ate what that woman brought,
we'd be sick.
You'd feel terrible.
You'd feel,
and you might not be able to finish it. With
like a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Like an obnoxious amount of fucking
why
food.
would I do this to myself?
And I watched this lady walk up to the side of this house. She looks up at the second story window and she goes, hey! And this basket comes fucking down. Like I'm saying, like a wicker fucking basket.
It was a Longaberger. It was a high quality basket. It was a lot of food. You can't do that in your mom's Easter basket. This thing was Longaberger.
Bro, it had to hold 20 pounds of fucking product.
Dude.
With a fucking damn near bull rope. Right? Like tied on, cinched on.
It was 3 braids, no less.
Drops the basket. She throws up. I have this on video, guys. Like, this is not made up. And Trav's sitting in. So I have the video. This is what you'll see. Trav's in a cut off orange shirt. I remember it vividly. And he's got the phone videotaping out the driver's side window like this. And he's like, oh my God. He's cracking up. The lady stops as she's loading the basket and looks over at Trav and he goes, and puts the phone down. I'm like, I don't give a fuck. I'm sitting there videoing Trav and this lady. If you watch this video, if you stop me and you want to see this video, imagine if you were on a fishing trip and you're trying to get sailfish. You're trying to get a trophy fucking fish. And the guide on that tour says, set the hook. And you yank this fucking hook as hard as you can, like your life fucking depended on it. That is how fast
it was gone.
This shit fucking shot up from the first floor to the second floor. It was like the fucking tubes in fucking what's that? The Jetsons.
Oh yeah.
It was like
it was gone.
I mean, she set it in there. She looks over at Trav and it's like shoots up. Window goes shut. Window shuts. Everything's done. And it was real. It was a real fucking scenario. That
rest in peace to that guy.
He has to be dead, right? How many years ago was that?
8.